What is up? My name is Cooper Neal. That is Jaret Bennett, and we love drafts. And if you came to see a mock draft, you came to the right place. We are doing a 3-round mock draft. Shout out to Stick to the Model. I saw this on a NFL Stock Exchange episode. I'm pretty sure they knew the exact name of that person. I apologize. I don't remember the exact name, but this is his like pride and joy right here. This is similar to your conch, Jaret. This is his thing right here. And it's awesome. I've only played with it a little bit, but you can even go back and do like full off season for your team. He has everything in here. This is like truly a nerd's dream right here. So we will be using that today. Shout out to him. But we're doing a 3-round mock draft. We feel like that's pretty solid. Get the first 2 days in there. First, we will be trying to stay as predictive as we can be. We're not gonna go crazy with trades, but if we see an opportunity for one that's been kind of rumored and kind of talked about, we'll do it. But before we get into anything, Jaret, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Really loving what I'm seeing from this right here. My favorite thing that I just noticed was that the first position listed as fullback. Which I that you got something good here. That's great.
You found a good place.
We start
Yeah,
with the most
I
important
didn't even
position.
notice that. I mean, who is
Max Bredesen.
nice? Of course, of
Spoilers
course, it's a
spoilers
Big
for
Ten
number one
player.
pick. But there we go.
I mean, it'd be awesome. Yeah, like I said, we'll probably switch to our normal Jared's odds. I'm evens start at the second round, but this first round we'll probably talk through kind of what we're hearing, kind of what we're seeing. We'll hit the massive pre-draft trade that happened. I think the wee hours of the night last night,
Yeah.
or it might have been the wee hours of the morning this morning. I was definitely asleep, but we'll talk about that when we get to that team's pick. But without further ado, Jaret, the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. I think we could
Yeah.
just
Uh
breeze through this
that's
one real
Fernando
quick.
Mendoza. Easy pick.
Yeah,
Good quarterback. They need a
easy pick.
quarterback. There you go. I mean, it's a one
Yeah,
quarterback
move
draft,
on.
like, really. Yeah, we just move on.
Correct. And it's at this point, you're picking one. You can't always predict that you're going to be picking one, so you got to take the quarterback when he's available, and
Right.
you finish the rest with the other picks you have. But the Jets, this is where the draft starts. I personally believe that this is a two-man conversation. I think it's Arvell Reese out of Ohio State, and I think it's David Bailey. Um, I don't necessarily have an inkling either way. I lean Arvell Reese, but Jared, where are you
I was
feeling
kinda
on the
leaning
Jets right
Arvell
now?
Reese as far as who I've kinda just had penciled into that spot where it just kinda feels like, yeah, that's probably about right. Because I don't hear any I think what's always interesting is don't hear much conversation about him past this pick. Maybe one more
Yeah,
pick. That to me leads teams are thinking that he's not gonna get to 4. Um, he's this pick or he's the next pick, and it leads me think he's probably just this pick is the smart thing to
yeah,
do.
and I mean, you're getting a guy. I know a bunch. Like you and I were having a conversation off screen. Like, what is it? It's a guy that's 6'4", 240. He was a 10 on the Raz. Um, 7 sacks. Didn't have a single sack plan according to what he's been telling people. It's one of those things that if you're the Jets here, you get a guy that has immense upside, can have a home and off ball linebacker, come in on blitz packages, and probably do really, really well when he has a refined plan. So I think I'm
I
with
think
you.
it's
I
Arbor
think
Reese.
this
I
pick
will
right here
say
is Arvell
I
Reese.
will say one more thing is something I've been kind of looking at is the Ruben Bain stuff that's been coming out about the accident he was in. It feels so much like a smoke screen from another team to try to get him to drop. Is what it feels like, kind of a smear campaign right beforehand. So I wonder,
Yeah,
I don't know how high we're talking here as far as, where we're getting the drop, but that could be if the team's thinking, hey, 5 or 6, we're looking at Bain, and we are legitimate worried he could be going to, that could be a reason that, you know, Bain could be going
hey,
higher than we
could
think.
could be the Chiefs. Just saying. I like Ruben Baines fit a lot with Spagnuolo, so it could be the Chiefs, who have been heavily rumored as well to trade up to the next pick. Obviously, we both agree it's Arvell Reese on the clock. The next pick is the Cardinals, because I think the Cardinals are also heavily talked about in a trade back
They make
scenario
sense to trade back
due to the fact that they
because,
need tackle.
yeah, and
Yeah.
there's some good tackles, but there's no one here that would be like, a number 3 pick with what's on the board. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're trading back
Do
here.
we do we want to trade back with the
That's
interesting.
interesting.
I
That doesn't
was
make sense to me.
that's an
But
interesting that makes 0 sense
no,
seeing as the
the
Browns
Browns
also
should not
need a
be giving up
tackle.
assets.
I was no, I was leaning more
I was
here.
thinking Chiefs.
Um, the thing is though, who is Kansas City moving up?
Yeah. Oh.
'Cause I really thought, like, I think Arvell Reese fits their profile. I don't
Mhm.
necessarily know how much the bendy edge speed rusher and David Bailey does, and I think with where the board is right now, I think there's a world where they can still get
They might be thinking
Ruben Bain
they
down
might be
here
thinking
at
Ruben
9.
Bain, the 9, I think is where they're hoping he just
Yeah,
lands. So I don't think they would
yeah,
if they're thinking Bain, I don't think they would. If they're thinking David Bailey, I think, that's absolutely something they would do.
yeah. The only other team I would maybe mention is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, it's a loftier jump from 12 to 3 than 9 to 3, but I think because of their desperate need for Sonny Styles, I just also think it's rich to take a linebacker at 3. So it's kind of, do we just stay pat, take the offensive tackle, even though it's probably a little rich to take the offensive tackle? Or do you think it's a definitive trade back scenario?
Um, let me look at the Cardinals depth chart real quick here. I wanna look at their edge rushers specifically, because that's where you gotta be thinking here. Sweating Darius Robinson.
It's not
It's
great.
not
And Darius
great.
Robinson, obviously, former first round pick, hadn't really done much.
So that
Walter Nolan was banged up last year.
that is where I would wonder if they just say, you know what, we with where we are in the draft, there's edge rushers, some really premier edge rushers
Take David
available.
Bailey.
Take David Bailey. Um,
I don't disagree. I actually kind of like the thought process because I think a lot of people, like, just for instance, like, let's go over this offense tackle. I think there's a lot here.
there's yeah,
I think you can maybe, you know, what picks do they have out of curiosity? They have 3 and 34. Yeah, you could potentially get one at that first end of the second, that first top end of the second round. So I do think you take a premier pass rusher in David Bailey, who I mean is off the charts when it comes to just pure first step
yeah,
edge
and
rusher.
your offense already
Um,
sucks. Is going to suck next year regardless of taking a tackle. Um, so I would say you're going to be drafting pretty high again next year. If you go second or third round with your tackles and they don't work out, you're going to have another swing. Um,
yeah. All right, so we take David
I
Bailey
take
here.
David Bailey here.
All right, we're taking David Bailey, and then this is a pick that I mean I feel like everybody's just mocking Jeremiah Love, and I understand that. Like, you just look at this team. I think Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears are
Brilliant.
serviceable.
Yeah,
Then you get to Calvin Ridley, Io Manor, and Wandale Robinson,
that's
and then just this offensive line of
offensive
just
line,
nobodies.
receivers, garbage. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't necessarily know how much I understand the Jeremiah Love here.
yeah, I don't get it. I think
I think it's eerily similar to Ashton Genty last year, where the Raiders took him when they weren't ready for him, and so he didn't really have that great of a year. And when it comes to running backs, the conversation's always how much tread is on the tires. Are they going to be able to, like? Are we going to be able to, like, win in the window that we draft a running back this high? Um, so me personally, I would lean more of the tackle or start the wide receiver train here. But what are you thinking? Are you thinking it's
um,
a clear cut Jeremiah Love?
I don't think it's Jeremiah Love. I don't think that makes sense. Now Titans don't always make sense, so
Fair,
could be.
fair.
Yeah, and we've said
It could be.
you should be taking your best player. If you're the Titans, best player available is really what you should be doing, regardless. But
Yeah.
I'd be between tackle and receiver as well. Really, where we're going here. So
I mean, I'd probably lean I'd probably lean Maui Noah,
that's
personally.
kind of where I'm leaning.
Um, I'm always a build your trenches first,
Yeah.
because it's not like the Titans don't have picks. So in this wide receiver class, I really
And
actually
also, they
like.
did just go get
Um,
Wando Robinson. That's not a ton, but that does help. Um,
it is
he could
something. So
catch. He
I
can
think we go.
catch. I go
Yeah,
Mauigoya.
I think you go Maui Noah. Which brings us to the New York Giants, who just made a spectacular trade. I've been thinking about
Yeah.
it all day, really. Traded Dexter Lawrence after it seemed like those two groups were done. All reports were essentially that they were at a complete opposites on the spectrum of that contract, and it was likely that he was never going to play with them again. So the fact that they were able to, I say finesse, but get a top 10 pick and nothing else, like they had to give nothing else up but a 28-year-old Dexter Lawrence coming off of a down year.
Mm.
Um, that's crazy and for me. And obviously, you and I both have heard the reports. It's Styles or Downs on the defensive side, and it's more than likely Tyson or Tate. But I hear they like Tyson a lot. They took him out. They went to his private workout that he held, and they also took him out to a steak dinner. So you got to read you follow the money on a lot of things, and if they're going that far to understand and learn about that guy, you can kind of understand that that's who they like a lot. On the flip side, because obviously we won't have until I don't believe it's like pick 40 something now. Yeah, pick 41 for the Bengals. If you get the best out of Dexter Lawrence, it's great because I think he unlocks Shamar Stewart. He unlocks uh
Hmm.
I'm blanking on the other guys' names. He unlocks that defensive line because that gives them a D tackle that is very good at collapsing the pocket, is very good at stopping the run. He had a down year last year, but then again, the Giants' defense was absolutely abysmal. So, can you give him all the blame for that? No. If you could get him at his prime, you are in a win now window, and you got to do everything you can to win with Joe Burrow as your quarterback. So I don't. I hated it originally. I thought it was a steep overpay. I still kind of think it's a
Yeah,
steep overpay due to the
it
leverage,
is. And given that
but
also
I don't
what you're
hate
going to
it.
be paying Dexter Lawrence compared to, the number 10 pick, that doesn't help. And like we had Caleb Downs mocked to them at 10 as a possibility. I don't think that ends up would have been on the table, really.
I don't think it would have been
Especially with
either.
what we're going to probably, I think, land off for this pick.
Do right here.
Yeah. So, but even still, I think it makes them better maybe next year, but I don't. I wonder about the value
It
you got here.
excuse me.
Um,
I tend to agree. I think again, if he's the Dexter Lawrence from 2 or 3 years ago and not last year, that's a top five, arguably top three D tackle. So I mean, it just depends. I pulled up the defensive uh depth chart here for the New York Giants. Obviously they uh, actually does it not have there's Tremaine Edmonds. I don't know why Tremaine Edmonds is all the way back
yeah, it's
there.
weird, but
Because Tremaine Edmonds will definitely be right there. Um, so two ways we could go with this. I think it is Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs. I look at their secondary. I like Javon Holland. I like Newbin. Paulson Adebo, Deontay Banks. Deontay Banks, former first round pick, has not really had a phenomenal run at it. I think Andrew Phillips was pretty solid last year as he played more nickel. Um, I think I'll throw it to you because I think I know where I lean, but
I'm
I also
personally leaning Downs, and that's more of just um how good I think their overall still their front seven is, even without Dexter Lawrence. And I know Sonny Styles moves around a lot more, but I feel like Downs to me might be the best player in this draft, period. And I think I don't dislike any of those guys specifically, but also just don't think that secondary is strong at all. Like it was bad last year.
I don't disagree with you at all. I think Downs is the best player in this class. I think he just as much as Sonny Styles is a Swiss Army knife. I think you could have him in the box. I think you could play him as a nickelback. I've said it over and over again. He changes the numbers. He's that good of a player. He might not be the flashiest of players, but he's going to always be in the right spot. His IQ is I mean, he's got some of the best IQ I've ever seen. And I think based on the where Hardball is coming from and having the safety that he had for the Ravens, I think he might be sitting here like, I gotta get that guy. That guy was the reason our defenses were as good as they were. I think you got it. I think Downs is the easy pick
I
here
think you
in
have to
my
pick Downs here.
all right. Moving on to the Browns. Another interesting team because boy oh boy, do they just need a lot outside of like defense, really. Um, I think my pick would be Carnell Tate here. Um, or Spencer Votto. Those are the two that
Yeah.
I lean towards.
But
but it just is
that's
a matter
kind of who I
of
was
because you
thinking
do have
too.
another pick. You have another pick back here at 24. So if you don't love Spencer Fano as a
Yeah.
tackle, because I know a lot of people project him as a guard, obviously you go Cardinal Tate. But if you like Spencer Fano, you could probably get another receiver, a top 5 receiver in the back at that 24 spot. So which one are you probably leaning here?
I was like initially kind of leaning Fano here. Um, is getting your tackle, helping out.
Yeah,
You're still helping out Shador Sanders and Deshaun Watson or whatever you're doing there, but you're also helping out Judkins,
yeah,
helping out your run
yeah,
game. Just you need to shore that up and just say, hey, maybe we can run the ball and try to win games that way because your defense is amazing. So we're dealing with low scoring games.
yeah.
Can we keep the chains moving long enough to at least get some points on the board fairly consistently? I think that helps a lot. I think there's a lot of good receivers in this draft too. There are a lot of good tackles, but there are a lot of good receivers as well. I don't see
Yeah,
Tate being an amazing fit there
fair.
because he seems to me like more of a number 2 type guy. And so I don't really see that changing much. I think he is kind of similar to more like a rich man's Jerry Judy. So I don't see that being like
You
spectacular.
don't love that
I
fit.
don't love that fit.
I don't I don't I don't hate it. I'll tell you this much. Spencer Fano, I personally like him a lot. Because I think he can play all 5 positions on the
Mm,
O-line for you. I think he's athletic enough to do it. I think he's good enough to play out on the tackle. I know a lot of people are projecting him to be a guard. I think you give him a shot to be a right tackle, and if it doesn't work out, you kick him in a guard, and you're gonna be pretty happy with what you got. So I think you take the versatile weapon on the front line who's athletic enough to do whatever you need him to do, and you move on.
yeah,
I think building
I
the
agree.
trenches is a key component, and I think he's one of those guys that I would love on my trenches. So Spencer Fano leads us into my easiest
This is easy
pick.
now.
I think this is Jeremiah.
This is Jeremiah Love. We're here at
Yeah.
7, and he's still there. A team that desperately needs a running back. It's Jeremiah Love.
And a team that I think is more ready for a running back.
Yes.
I just think they actually have the structures in place, the team in place offensively to take a running back top 10. And I would be having the same conversation if Washington was picking at 4 and Titans were picking at 7. I would be saying Washington is more ready for Jeremiah Love than the Tennessee Titans were. I like the fit there. I think they desperately need a run game to protect Jaden Daniels a little bit more. And I think I love the RPO game with those two. And I think now you're talking a easily top 10 offense. I know they already probably have been that first year under Jay Daniels. I think it's a lock to have that as a top 10 offense with Debo and Terry McLaurin on the outside. You can probably get a number 3 wide receiver later in the draft. But I think I run to the podium with that
Oh,
pick.
for
And
sure.
then
This is
I,
interesting.
I'll let you start with the Saints because I know you never thought Sonny Styles would be
I
here.
didn't think Sonny Styles. They had the option between Sonny Styles, Ruben Bain, or Jordan Tyson, or Tate
And Carnell
and
Tate.
Carl
Yeah.
Tate. Um, I think position wise, what makes the most sense for them is to get another receiver. Outside of Olave, it was really rough. Look at that,
Yeah.
just garbage.
Yeah. that's just
I
names.
mean, yeah,
Soon to be Walmart
yeah,
employees.
but but and they have Chase Young still, so they don't really need. I think there's still not a major need for an edge rusher. Um,
Yeah.
but there's nothing Mickey Loomis loves more than a really, really high raw athletic score.
Yep.
So I think if Sonny Styles is on the board at 8, I just don't see them being able to pass him up. I don't. Even though I love the fit of Jordan Tyson here at 8, to play next to Olave, that to me really works.
I don't disagree. I was kind of looking what what are your thoughts on a Mansour Delaney?
I don't think they're there yet for a corner.
I just the only person I know on this is Kool-Aid McKinstry.
He's
Um,
fine.
yeah. Let's just go throwing
And
it out there.
Justin Reed's
I
good
don't
safety, but
disagree. I think this is
it's
easily
just
Sonny
I don't
Styles.
know if that much the
Um,
fit is. But I think style fits pretty much anywhere. But I just
yeah.
don't. The way Mickey Loomis drafts, this is. I don't
Well,
see
and I'll
him
also
passing
say
up.
this. Danny Stutzman, I like a lot. I liked him a lot last year. I thought it was a good pick. Pete Werner, I also like a lot. Think it's a good fit. There's one thing that those two dudes have in common that is pretty not common with Sonny Styles, and that is the athleticism and the ability to be the green dot on a defense. That I think it is time to start getting younger on that
And I think
defense. Obviously, the loss to Demario
Demarcus
Davis,
Mary
I think
Davis,
this would
this
make
kind
this
of
a
fills that
run.
in with some potential to do more and put him in different spots.
Yeah,
So I think that's what if
I'm
he's
with
here at
you. I
8,
think if Sonny Styles,
he's got to go here.
yeah, you run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So moving on to the Chiefs, who we said the entire time, I don't necessarily think they need to trade up because I think their guy is going to be here when they land here, and I think that guy is Ruben Bain. I know I've seen a bunch of people mocking receivers. I don't think they're going receiver this high personally, especially with the pick now at 29. I don't think they have
No.
to. I think you gotta get younger on that defensive line and actually get some more pressure. Because Chris Jones obviously is having to man this defensive line kinda by himself. The Uzama pick kinda didn't pan out, back into the first round. Karlaftis has been good, but it seems like he's kinda capped out at that, like, 7, 8 sack guy. I think you get a guy that's phenomenal both against the
Yeah.
run and
Yeah,
the
game
pass
repper
rushing, and you get
is what
Ruben
Ruben
Bain.
Bain is.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
do I think that
and I think you
do I
run.
think the Chiefs are potentially the team that's trying to destroy his life right now? Possibly. Um,
It wouldn't shock
I
me. They
think
are the type of team.
the teams in my head that immediately came to mind was probably Kansas City. Maybe it's Jerry Jones. Um, those
I
all
just don't
kind
think
of.
Jerry's smart enough to do a smear
I don't think
campaign
he is
anymore.
either. So I think it probably is the Chiefs, and I think they get what they're paying for right here and get Ruben Bay at 9.
And which leads us to the now New York Giants, used to be Cincinnati Bengals. And you got your run of the pick of wide
It's
receivers because we did not have a single wide receiver picked in the top 10
yeah.
so far.
And
I think
this has to be
I
Jordan
personally
Tyson,
love
right?
Jordan
Yeah,
Tyson.
I think he's
Yeah,
great.
I love Jordan Tyson. I don't care about the injuries. I think that is the dude that if you sat there and it's a simulation, injuries are turned off. This is that guy that's
Yeah.
number one on
For
everybody's
for
boards.
example,
Full stop.
CBS Sports comparison, they have Jordan Tyson like as their 5th receiver. I think because of the injuries, but
Whew.
their comp for him is Jackson
Yeah.
Smith and Jigba. That's what we're talking about here.
I mean,
What are you doing here?
yeah, you run it. You run to the podium. Run to the podium. I love Jordan Tyson. I've been on Jordan Tyson the longest because I personally think I like Carnell Tate, and I think he potentially does have number one upside depending on the offense he's in. I don't think you have to question if Jordan Tyson has the number one upside. I think he is a number one wide receiver, and you pair him with Malik Neighbors. Now that offense is having some. Now we're having some conversations. So if you're the Giants and you come out of this with Caleb Downs and Jordan Tyson, two alpha dogs, on both sides of the ball, I think you're running for joy. Leads us into the Miami Dolphins, who are in a rebuild. They are going to be garbage next year.
Look at that
Just
quarterback
go ahead and
room.
yeah, and we know
Yeah,
who
it's
got
Malik
paid, so we'll
Willis.
just do that. Um, I because I would argue Minnesota Lane is an easy pick here, but I would also argue because they have Juju Brents, who I know that kind of a revival thing. He was a former second round pick, I believe, from the Colts, who they kind of already gave up on. But I'm just looking at a wide receiver room of
You don't like Malik
Malik Washington,
Washington,
Tutu
Tutu
Atwell, and
Atwell.
Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So I would probably argue Carnell Tate,
I agree. I think
but
if the draft has gone this way and only one receiver's off the board, I think the Dolphins are thinking, awesome. I will say
yeah.
it is kind of odd to me to pick a receiver when you don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, but you did just pay a guy $20 million over 2 years. So like,
I guess maybe they view Malik Willis higher than I do, so maybe they think, hey,
I don't.
that could work
I
out.
promise you I don't.
I think he's better than some,
Yeah.
but
That's a nice way to put it.
yeah, he's not the worst quarterback in the league.
I mean, I'm not with you because if you look at their picks, they have 11 and 30 in the first round, 45, 43 and 75, I believe. They have. Look at all these third round picks. They are
Man,
just stockpiling picks.
yeah,
So I could see a world where you take the corner immediately because he's the best corner in the class, and you fill out your wide receiver and offensive stuff later.
I can see that
What are you
argument.
thinking?
Yeah, I'm
You
kind of the
you
opinion
still
with
leaning
you.
Tate here?
I'm Nah, I'm kind of leaning Delane now. Just because of where the
I think you go
corners. I
Delane.
think go Delane. It's also
Because like if you sit here and look at this, like it's
because
also your pick of the litter, kind
yeah,
of. But
there's I think there is a drop off after Delane and
I think
receiver
it's
receiver like there is a
outside of
drop
these
off.
top.
Yeah, receiver there
Yeah,
like is a drop off, but like there's a lot of good guys there. Um,
I agree. I think you get a guy that's going to be a shutdown corner for a really long time. In Mansour Lane,
it's also
which leads us
prevent the
into
Cowboys from taking Delane, which is nice.
which yeah, which this is
This is
complete nightmare scenario for Jerry
yeah.
Jones. This is only 4 offensive players picked, um, 2 of which are shoe-ins with Fernando Mendoza and Jeremiah Love.
Mhm.
1 wide receiver is not great for them. 2 tackles really doesn't help them. I This is a world where there's no way the Cowboys don't trade back. I just don't see a world, especially when you don't have a day 2 pick until 90s. This is a who's coming up to get a wide receiver, and we're trading back, is my immediate thoughts. Because there's no world, in my opinion, where the Cowboys actually do take Jamal McCoy at 12. I just don't see it. They already took Chavon Rebel last year, who was injured, and gave him a redshirt year. This is not a Cowboys roster that is in a we can take a first 12 overall pick
I agree.
redshirt year.
Um,
Um, so I
Absolutely trading
don't
this
think
pick.
they stay here
It
and make a
becomes to
pick.
me who is trading up to get Carnell Tate. Um, that would make sense. It's not the Panthers. Um,
This is going to sound biased, but I could see the Panthers trading up to get Carnell Tate. I could see it.
well, maybe,
I
but
and you see these percentages here. Who else is on the board actually? Because I think it's very wide receiver heavy.
we got Ione.
I think
Might
this is
be
somebody
another
coming up
one
to get a wide
that's.
receiver for sure.
I think so.
Yeah. Um,
I think that has to be a receiver pick.
which that could I agree. I think it's definitely wide receiver pick. Who was in here? I don't think Tampa's coming up to get a wide receiver. I know they lost Mike Evans, but they're not coming up to get a wide receiver.
No, not
Um,
with like Buka.
I don't really think the 49ers would do that. Minnesota, no. Um, Houston, no. That makes no sense.
All right,
Panthers personally do, but I don't think they would.
Is Carolina crazy enough to do that?
Depends on how much they like Colonel Tate
Yeah,
personally.
yeah.
Because can I click on them? Can I like click on their war room? Oh yes, I can. Ooh, see, I'm learning this thing on the fly too because I haven't always. Because you got Ted McMillan, obviously. I think they like Jalen Coker as their slot guy. Xavier Legutte's just not been good. But are you willing to give up? I think that was 19 and 51. Are you willing to go with your first 2 picks just to jump 7 spots to get a wide receiver? Is my thought.
Especially when other receivers are going to be available.
The only other thing I'd maybe consider here is Tampa coming up to get a Wane.
I
Jumping
could
3
see that.
spots to
I
definitely
think,
jump the Ravens.
yeah, that makes sense to me more than anything else. Is that
And that's 15 and 77. So that's I think a first and a third. So
like
not really. I think that's pretty solid
that's
value to
yeah,
jump up 3 picks. So we'll do that one. I think this is I
and
think
it
this is a
becomes a
Wane.
on it. Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, I'm still on the Panthers here. Tampa Bay had a just abysmal season, really, with the way that their season should have gone. Um, I think this is a make or break year for every single human on that coaching staff. Because I'll be honest, I was shocked when they kept Todd Bowles. I was shocked. So I think you take the guy who's going to come in. I think has the highest floor that's not being talked about. I think he's just been a completely overlooked
he's yeah.
prospect in this whole thing. He's going to be steady and he's going to shore up the left side of that offensive line
Um,
immediately.
yeah.
So I think they trade
Look,
up to get big and want to mainly jump the Baltimore Ravens
I
there.
was at the Fiesta Bowl when Penn State played Boise State, and there was just a hole the size of the Grand Canyon every time they ran the ball, and that was Ione most of the
Yeah,
time. It's just
he's a beast.
he's a beast.
Sweet, and here comes our first luxury pick of the draft. Team that has no business to be picking this high. I would say it's either of those top 2 receivers, whichever flavor of the month you're feeling, or I could see this being a Monroe Freeling. Because eventually the tackle depth chart is going to have to be like you can upgrade kind of for both of these guys.
Yeah.
And you get a guy that's a potentially developmental. Oh, no. Don't do that. Almost clicked the wrong button there. I think he's a more of a developmental prospect than people are, saying. He's got all the athletic profile. He's the exact size you want out of an offensive tackle. I mean, look at that. He's got a 10 RAS as a 6, a little bit over 6'6", a little under 6'8", 315-pound tackle. So I think it's one of these 2 receivers or this tackle. Which way you feeling for the
I'm
luxury
still
pick here?
feeling Monroe Freeling here. It to me, you still have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Um,
Yeah.
and like,
And to be fair, they run more 2 tight end sets than they do
yeah.
3 wide receiver sets.
So that doesn't,
Like, they're still very much run first, play action pass
yeah,
mentality.
yeah. I would
So
almost,
I agree with you. I think it's Monroe for you. So now that we've picked the board for the Baltimore Ravens, because we know one thing that they're not going to do, and that's going to take a wide receiver
no,
for
they don't
Lamar
do that.
Jackson. I do see an opening
I
here
see
where
a
Patrick
fullback
Ricard
opening.
left.
Oh,
Uh,
we got Bredesen
just
here.
completely just get discredited out the gate. Um, I mean, I'm not going to not say they don't need a wide receiver. I
I
just
mean,
don't
they kind
necessarily
of do, but
know, do
they
they spend
just
the
won't.
value on it?
They're not going to. So
Yeah. I personally just never thought I'd see Colonel Tate get this
yeah.
far. Car-
Um,
I, I, I'm trying to. This is kind of an interesting spot for them because I think they need a guard, but the only guy that I would have playing guard is Caden Proctor right here. I wouldn't have. I think Loma is a pure tackle. I think Yana Chore's a tackle. Miller's a tackle. I think this is way too early for Basantis or Pregnon. Um, I mean, I know they have Mark Andrews, but do you get the wildly athletic tight end here to get
yeah,
another pass catcher that's
it's
not a.
possible. Because
Where are
likely
you
they don't have
leaning on this?
likely
Because
anymore. So
I don't. Where did Likely go? Did he go to the Giants?
yeah.
Okay. I could see this being Kenyon Sadiq. I could also see Carnell Tate. I could see Caden Proctor. I think it's one of those 3. Where are you leaning towards?
That's I was thinking probably Kenyon Sadiq, out of those options because
Just look at
just
that.
look at
I'm a massive fan of Kenyon Sadiq, so you're not going to have to talk
that.
me
Hey,
into making that pick. And and now the Cowboys are back on the clock, and I mean, obviously, it's only 3 picks later, so you're still kind of in the same situation you were. I think you have the conversation. I hate saying it because I just made the argument that they're not going to take McCoy 12. I would probably go. I personally like Dylan Thieneman. That's my personal stance. I think Dylan Thieneman is a top 10, top 15 player in this class. I think he's rangy to be a safety, and I think he is versatile enough to come play in the box. Um, he has been a beast since Purdue. I'm a huge fan of his game, and I think this is more what the Cowboys kind of need on their back end of their defense than a Jermon McCoy hope and pray he's actually healthy and able to play. Is more my feeling. I don't. Keldrick Falk is also a very Dallas
his pick.
Cowboys Jerry
Yeah.
Jones pick, but I personally would lean Thieneman. But you can persuade me out of it. Potentially is what I'm
Um,
feeling.
I was more between McCoy and even Avion Terrell, as options
If you're
here.
leaning corner, I would go McCoy over
I'm s-
Terrell. I don't think Terrell's going this high.
I don't think he probably will, but I would be leaning corner here. Um,
We can take Jamal
I
McCoy.
think
I
this is
think
fairly good value for McCoy at this point. And I think he could go really high.
he could go really high.
th-
I mean, if teams, he's going to be the same conversation as Jordan Tyson. If teams have him as he's healthy, he's number 1 corner on their board, even over Mansour Lane, I think. Just simply because of that 2024 tape that he had. He was, I mean, just go watch him against Ryan Williams. I think it's either the week after the Georgia game that Ryan Williams had or the week before. He absolutely clamped Ryan Williams on the year that Ryan Williams was actually phenomenal. I mean, he's fluid. He's great. really good man corner, great ball skills. I think if Cowboys trade back, get another day 2 pick, I think that makes this a little bit more palatable.
Yeah,
So,
it's also
we'll take
I like
Jamal
personally
McCoy.
Emmanuel McNeil Warren more than Thieneman. Um, is
Ooh.
my
I don't
take on that. So,
yeah.
I
Uh,
don't like him going 15 seems high.
have them pretty similar.
Yeah.
I have them pretty similar. I think they're different. I think where Emmanuel McNeil Warren, uh, he has that punch
Mhm.
on the football to a science. I'm pretty sure he had 9 career forced fumbles from the safety position. So not only are people not getting by him, he's creating another opportunity for his offense. And Toledo has been a factory recently for corners. So
I
I personally, I do
I
love
don't think he
Emmanuel
gets out
McNeil
of the
Warren
top
and
20.
Thieneman.
I think a team
He's going to
absolutely
get
is
picked here
falling
in a
up. Yeah.
second.
Team's absolutely falling in love with him.
Yeah.
Jets. Is
But
this not Carnell Tate at this point?
this is Carnell Tate.
Yeah,
This is Carnell
that's
Tate.
surely.
You run. You pair two Ohio State
You're
receivers
amazed that
together.
he's there,
Um,
and yeah,
yeah,
you run to the podium.
you run. You sprint to the podium. This is the easiest shoe in
This
for
has to be
Caden
Cade
Proctor if I've
Proctor.
ever seen.
It's the
I mean,
Lions.
just do you know what's going to happen to before I blank on his name completely? Uh, where is he? Oh, is he not on their team anymore? The former Arkansas guy, the just
Yeah.
massive dude that just every time he got in the game,
Dan
you know it was a trick
Skipper.
play. Yeah, Dan Skipper. Dan Skipper's gonna cry because he's gonna be out of a job the second he sees Cade Proctor picked at his spot. I think Cade Proctor can play guard for you if you trust him enough and he plays at 330, 340,
Yeah.
which he hadn't proved
I
that he can do, then you're comfortable at tackle. But
I wonder if the Lions have the conversation of, "Hey, we've really fallen in love with this guy. Is it just so we can run trick plays, or do we actually like him?" Um, I think they still take him
um,
because, but
so my thoughts on Caden Proctor, and then we'll make the easiest pick that I think you and I are gonna agree on so fast. I if he can stay healthy and lose a little bit of weight, I think he is a really good tackle. I think he's a good, solid tackle prospect, but at the weight he's at, I just don't see it working, and I think guard is going to be more palatable for him. But if there's a team that I don't like, not just absolutely love the fit for Caden Proctor, it is the Lions because of what they're going to be able to do with him, and I think he's going to a guy that you want to play for and Dan Campbell. So I could see them being like, dude, we need you to be at 340 to play right tackle so we can move Panay Sewell over to left tackle, which has been a conversation around this pick. I could see him, making it work for the team. But the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock here.
this to me is Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Yeah,
Just
that's their kind of guy.
I knew we were going to agree on that. I think that's their kind of guy. He's going to be a beautiful Harrison Smith replacement because I don't believe Harrison Smith has officially retired yet, but I know he's not still on the team. Before I put my foot in my mouth, I'm just gonna double check that. Oh no, he is still on the team, but I still
Yeah, he's
like Emmanuel McNeil Ward to be a successor and play meaningful minutes for them. Which now leads us into the Panthers. We kind of had a conversation about them
Panthers are interesting here.
moving
I
up.
do think they're going receiver. I just didn't feel like the Carnell Tate fit that much for them. I am currently leaning Concepcion.
Okay, you like Concepcion over Lemon?
Not totally, but for the fit with the Panthers, I think they could really use a burner. To
Sorry,
pair
wrong
next
one.
to McMillan. Coker
Yeah.
obviously is not that. Legit sucks, respectfully. So
Also, as a guy that went to his first NFL game this year, and it was a Carolina Panthers game. I think Concepcion also brings you a immediate return man.
yes, he's absolutely going to be a return
Because
man as well.
he is an elite return man. I'm with you on this pick. The only guy I would also argue is Cade McDonald. I think he is a beautiful fit to be a nose tackle, but that is it. And if you think 19 is a little too rich for a nose tackle, no
Yeah.
pass rush upside only, that's rich for your blood here. But if Concepcion is on the board, I do like the fit with KC and the Carolina Panthers.
Also, with what I'm hearing about Mekhi Lemon
then,
interviews, I do think okay.
well, and also I don't I don't necessarily know whose mock draft it was, but I remember they had Mekhi Lemon falling pretty far. Like there was a couple mock drafts from the pretty well-known sources in the industry that were not having that many receivers go in the top 15.
Yeah,
Like it was one or maybe
the only
two.
thing is I will have Mekhi Lemon going high because my dad has a signed Mekhi Lemon out of 50 card, and we'd really like to see that go up in value. So we'll have Mekhi Lemon
Fair.
soonish, probably. Um,
So Cowboys are back on the
Cowboys
board
back
here.
on the board.
Um,
Dylan Thieleman's here.
I scream Dylan Thieneman. I'm
Thieleman's here.
screaming Dylan.
You wanted him at 15. Then he's here at 20.
I I love Dylan Thieneman. And I think Cowboys get Jamal McCoy and Dylan Thieneman. That back end of the defense is going to be absolute garbage. Now they will have to seriously go fix the linebacker room because I'm pretty sure it's just DeMarvion Overshown, uh, Shamar James, fifth round pick from Florida last year, and then Justin Barron, who was a UDFA and he's a special teamers. And they're in a 3-4 now. So you need about 4 more linebackers to fill a room out. So they're going to be making some linebacker picks later on. But first time for the Pittsburgh Steelers here. And I think there's someone just screaming.
Yeah, it's got to be Mekhi Lemon, right?
Yeah.
Do you need a receiver?
Mekhi
You have a
Lemon.
really good number one receiver available. You already dealt with.
Ooh.
They have Michael Pittman, huh?
I totally forgot they got Michael Pittman.
Yeah, same.
I still think this is.
I still think it is.
Because let's be honest, Roman Wilson ain't cutting it in the NFL.
Yeah.
You get a slot guy here in Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah. You top tier receiver. You already dealt with George Pickens, so how bad of a guy can Mekhi Lemon be? He's Steelers culture
For
kind of Miami Heat of the NFL. Culture. So he's put him in that.
Yeah. For sure. Los Angeles Chargers. This is a team that every time they get on the clock for me, I just sit there and kind of wonder. Because I could see an interior O-line pick here. I could see D-line for sure. Specifically on the front. I believe they play a 3-4. Yeah, this is what they have as 3-4. Yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued by Peter Woods. It's just Peter Woods really did have kind of a down year, and then he was completely healthy and didn't do any athletic testing, which kind of is like, why? And I feel like his stock has just been completely trending down.
Look at
that. Like, I mean, this was a dude that, look at that. In September of this year, or of last year, he was the number 1 prospect, and now he's all the way down to 22. So if they have done their homework on Peter Woods, maybe you really like the fit here. I personally am not a massive Peter Woods guy. Keldrick Falk's interesting. He has the prototypical size. And I mean, he could fit on this team. I definitely think this is defense based on what I'm looking at on this depth chart here. Because this defense is oof.
Yeah, that's not great. I think it's probably defensive line. So yeah, I'm also between Falk and Woods. I don't think this is K McDonald.
I kind of want to go Keldrick Falk here. I've never made the pick here, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Because you get a guy that's 6'5", 275, 9'1" on the RAS. And it has him at 285 here. He has the tools to be really good. I just don't think he was deployed correctly at Auburn. I mean, Auburn was a dumpster fire last year. There's a reason they are in a completely new coaching regime. I won't get you started on that. So that was not allowed to get you on the Hugh Freeze slander. I like Keldrick Falk. I think he's it is true. But Keldrick Falk, I think, is an intriguing pick there for a team that is also in a win now window. And I think if deployed correctly, could be a really fun pick. And that's Harbaugh. He's probably going to know what to do. Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Kind of just picked him over. I'll tell you what I'm leaning. And that's Omar Cooper Jr.
I was also thinking Omar Cooper.
Okay. So we're in agreement. I think they go, especially with the AJ Brown news.
Yeah, I don't feel strongly about it, but I think I like that. I like that pick.
Cleveland Browns are back on the board. We had them taking Spencer Fano in the first day. I think you run to the podium if Denzel
Denzel
Boston is
Boston's
here.
still here. I think that's the plan is we're gonna take a offensive lineman and then who's the receiver left, and we'll just take him.
Yeah,
And Denzel
yeah.
Boston's here. And I actually like the fit of Denzel Boston more than I would have if it was
I
Omar
like the fit
Cooper.
of Denzel Boston.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
I like that.
because personally, what are the Browns wanting to do? They want to run the ball. They want to be physical because they have a phenomenal defense. So if they can ball control, be physical, you're getting a guy that is going to block his butt off. Best blocker in the class at the wide receiver position, and he's big. He could be a contested catch guy where Jerry Judy can maybe potentially have a little weight off his shoulders, be the middle of the field, run after catch type guy. I like Denzel Boston a lot. I think the next pick is super easy. Um, and his name is McPounder right here. Uh, yeah. I think what Chicago is lacking is just a absolute unit right there in the front.
Yeah.
Um, like they got Grady Jarrett, they got Neville Gallimore to do more of your pass rushing from the interior, but they don't have that guy that's just going to be an absolute plug and win double teams. Caden McDonald last year in his film, most of the time he has double teams and they're losing ground. That's how strong of an ox this dude is, and just that's what his job is, and he does it super, super well. It's like 25's rich to be taking a guy that does that, but if that's what your defense is lacking, you
They don't
run.
have a lot of needs. So I agree 100%. Um only other guy I would have considered is Peter Woods, but I like the fit better with McDonald of just get the biggest dude you can.
Yeah,
I like that idea always. As
yeah,
far as D tackles goes, just get someone who's huge.
yeah.
So
Um, Buffalo,
I
Buffalo.
think they're going into your offensive line. Um, with
Okay.
what they lost.
Obviously, Chase Basantis or Pregnon are the
It's rich
because these
for
three
them.
guys I do have as tackle.
So this is
Um,
also a trade down possibility.
yeah. Trying to see, could they be in the Akeem Mesidor
They
conversation?
could be. Um,
Because you got Greg Rousseau and you got Bradley Chubb to kind of come in and be you know,
what
a
concerns me is that
mercenary, if you
they don't
will.
pick again until 91. Um,
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I didn't notice that. I'm glad you said that. All right, who do you prefer out of Basantis or Pregnon? Um, both really, really
I
solid
prefer
prospects.
Basantis.
Okay, we'll go
No,
Basantis because
there's no strong
I
feeling.
don't
I
have a
rarely have a
feeling.
strong feeling on interior offensive alignment, but that is kind of where
Yeah,
I
you do.
land.
You're like the guy for offensive lineman. I
Basantis
know
was
you.
my number two
Don't
interior
lie to
offensive
the
line
people.
behind Ione, and I actually had
So
pretty low. I
okay,
would
we'll go Basantis here. Because I don't know if you saw, but there was a crazy guard pick at the end of round one in someone's mock draft. And it was more of a there's gonna be another guard taken. It's not a sexy pick by any means, but it's definitely like a we're a team with Josh Allen. Let's just get as much as we can to ensure that we're in a place to win football games and get to the postseason. So I like Basantis. And like you said, they don't have a pick again until 91, so you kind of gotta do with what you can.
yeah.
Um, this is an easy pick. Well, it's not easy depending on how you rank these three guys right here. I I personally I have thoughts on all three. Um, I think Iannichor has not been playing football long enough, but he's an athletic freak and he has probably the most upside. Um, and then Caleb Lomu, really, really good. For his size, he moves really well. Uh, I think he probably has the second floor, but the second ceiling. So he's kind of my mid tier out of these three. And then I think Blake Miller's going to have the best floor with the lowest ceiling. So really just kind of depends on what you're feeling if you're the
Think if you're the
49ers.
49ers, you're a really well run organization. I trust the high upside, and I just take swings.
I think I like Giannis here because I do think they're a team that can do it. And you get him being trained by Trent
Yeah,
Williams.
exactly. Like, they're a team. If they take a swing on a guy, typically they're going to hit on it, and that's people say it's teams who draft well. It's really more teams always who develop well. Are the ones that are somehow finding all these hits. That's why I think the Niners Yeah, you got to take the swing. Why
So we'll
not?
take the swing there, which leads us into our. I think I know where you're going to lean on this pick. If there was ever a perfect Peter Woods fit, I think it is here at the Texans.
At this point, there's no one
Because
left
this is a
for them.
defense that has. I think they could go tackle.
They could.
Just because I think that that defense needs as much help as it can get, but getting a guy that has the ability to just pass rush with Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter on the outside of him to where it's very low leverage pass rushing ability, and name a guy that's not going to develop defense other than the Texans right here. I mean, when they've done their defenses have been just absolutely elite. So I could see a Peter Woods here, and we could stop his fall. I could also see Peter Woods falling out of the first round completely.
For
That's
sure.
kind of where I'm at with Peter Woods.
I think this kind of is. Yeah, I don't see another guy. I would feel strongly that they're going to go here.
And they also have a ton of
They had a
picks
lot of
here
picks.
on day 2.
Yeah.
Early day 2 picks
They
too.
might be waiting.
So
They could. Maybe they wait till 38 to take Peter Woods.
so do you want to
I'd
go
just go Peter Woods.
go Peter
With
Woods?
the
Okay.
number of tackles on the board, I still think there's a number of good tackles.
Yeah.
Maybe do that
I
later.
also lean more towards interior for them than I
Yeah,
do
exactly.
tackle.
So let that just wait on that.
Yeah.
Who did we
Chiefs,
take? We
obviously,
took Bain.
Ruben Bain. I know Alex has been screaming at us for tackle. And
Yeah,
this very well
let's do
could
it
be
for him.
tackle. I'll reiterate. I think Blake Miller comes in as a better pro than Caleb Lomu, but I think Caleb Lomu is eventually going to overtake Blake Miller.
I
I think
agree.
he has just a bit more upside. But I personally think Blake Miller is really, really, really solid. He's been a 4-year starter, maybe even 5-year starter at Clemson. 4-year starter at Clemson. And he's gotten better every year, which is something you like out of offensive linemen. So I think it's your pick of the litter here, but I think they probably would. I think they might fall in love with
I
Caleb
think they
Lomu.
fall in love with Caleb Lomu.
We'll go Caleb Lomu there. The Dolphins are back on the clock. They took Mansour Lane first. Um, I mean, we could get a low moving cost right here, Jaret.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
I
hey,
like
don't
that.
even move out of your apartment, buddy. Stay in your apartment.
I like that move.
And it's an interesting move because he kind of screams to me win now player, which obviously the Dolphins are
Yes,
not a win
he
now.
does. But maybe they are a win now team.
Maybe they are.
We
Maybe
don't
they
know.
are.
Maybe they're just going to load up
Sleeper.
on this defense. They're going to make it awesome, and they're going to go. And Malik Willis is just going to be able to score enough, and that's the
Yeah.
plan. But there's just nobody.
He's my favorite edge on the board. I mean, I'll say
I
that.
mean, they could.
We could go Pregnon.
They could go Pregnon, but I'm not crazy about
I mean, yeah,
Pregnon.
I know you're not. I like Pregnon more than you. I think he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna have a tremendous upside, but I think he's at least a 2 contract player for you.
Sure.
I've heard a lot of buzz on Malachi Lawrence. I've heard a lot of buzz on Zion Young. So
Yeah.
if we wanted to take a more, younger pick here, how old? I don't NFL ready. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd lean D lineman here because that's kind of what the board is. I mean, if you want to really just break the mold type guy and get the undersized but wildly athletic Cassius Howell here, you could. But I like the low moving cost thought of Keem
I
Mesidor
like
here. I
Metzador
really
here.
do.
I just want that to happen.
I think he's the best player.
Dude,
I
he's the best
personally think
player.
he's the better player. And I think this is
Yeah, it's Blake Miller here.
easy pick here.
You need a guy right away to
Easy
come in
pick.
and block. There he is.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Which leads us to our last pick of the first round with a team that, I mean, personally likes for nothing. Just get a. I mean, I've heard a lot of people think running back here. I think it's rich. I don't like the running back
No,
class this early.
I like the running.
Outside of,
I actually really like the running back class, but I just don't. I think he'll be there at 64. The guys you
I
want.
agree. I think this is a defense pick, which is crazy because their defense is what
they
won
don't
them
need
the
anybody's.
championship last year.
That's great.
I mean, I would love a safety here for them, but I think it's early on a safety. Could this saying running back, edge, corner, safety?
Do we go crazy? Just take
I mean, you
Avion
could just.
Terrell here?
I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I think it's a great
I
pick.
think that luxury pick at this
I was
point.
leaning one of these two.
I'm
Yeah.
taking Avion Terrell.
So we'll go Avion Terrell to round out the first round of the mock draft. Do you want odds or evens the rest of
Well,
the way?
I'll take odds.
You know, all right. So you're on the clock here with the Jets. We have the Jets
Jets,
taking Arvell Reese and
Cardinal
Cardinal
Tate.
Tate. They're
They're
having a solid
cooking
draft right now.
they're feeling really good going to
just
this pick.
absolutely.
And man, do they do
You tell
it?
me any of the positions you needed.
I'm
You're talking
really.
this guy.
It could go Jacob Rodriguez. I love Jacob Rodriguez. Part of me though feels with just how this draft has gone for them that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Ty Simpson right now.
I knew you were. I knew you would.
They dug.
I knew you
Their
would.
quarterback right now is Geno Smith.
And look, you and I haven't actually had this conversation. I don't think a lot on this thing. If you really think Ty Simpson can be that guy for you, why not take the swing? I mean, you've already kind of won this draft by getting a Carnell Tate and Arvell Reese. Why not take a swing on a guy? And if he kind of wows in the preseason. I mean, Geno was crap last year.
Geno was crap last year, but he's also going to get to throw to Garrett Wilson and Carnell Tate right now. So maybe you can wait a little bit behind him. Also, Geno, from what I've always heard about him, is a very good like quarterback room guy. I think he'd be a very good bridge quarterback somewhere, if not for the Jets.
Well, and you're definitely sniping him from the team that could take him next.
Yeah,
so.
I take Ty Simpson here.
All right. You heard it here first. Ty Simpson's off the board. First pick of the second round, which leads us to the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals took David Bailey. I think kind of sky's the limit here for what they could take. I think we kind of picked apart the tackles. I wouldn't. I'm not that high on Caleb Tiernan. So I'm between those top two corners. They got a luxury last year in Will Johnson because he had medical stuff, and so they were able to get a lockdown corner at a later pick. I'll be so honest. I don't necessarily know the stats on like whether they run enough zone to warrant a Chris Johnson. I think Colton Hood's a really, really talented corner. He's physical. He was taught by the same people that taught Patrick Peterson. I think it's kind of screaming like, "Hey, we might can get a run back with this." So I'm gonna take Colton Hood there for the Arizona Cardinals. Which brings us to the Titans on the clock with Francis Mauigoa as our pick from the first round.
I think at this point they have to go receiver, and now it becomes who you like at receiver. I like Jareer Bernard as a player, but with Wan'Dale Robinson, I think there's two slot guys right there, so I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Chris Brazzell here. Personally.
Yeah. I think Chris Brazzell, freaky athletic.
They didn't drop passes. Really good. And last year, your big problem was receivers dropping passes. So I think to me, this is Chris Brazzell. You pair him next to
low
whoever.
Moving cost again.
Yeah.
Getting the Tennessee Titans, a Tennessee Volunteer. Back-to-back Vols come off the board. I know a lot of people are probably scared of wide receivers from Tennessee due to the recent stuff from wide receivers from Tennessee, but I personally like Chris Brazzell. It does scare me a little bit that he's only ever run 2 routes from the left side of the football field. But hey, maybe you just put Calvin Ridley on the left side and you put Chris Brazzell on the right and never move him. That's what he's good at. But his game against Georgia was me having the conversation in my head was like, is this dude about to be a top 2 wide receiver in this class? Because that game tape against Georgia was elite. So I like the Chris Brazzell pick there by you. Obviously Fernando Mendoza was the first pick on the board. Hold on. Yeah, no, ain't no Connell. Hold on. Ain't no Connell. He ain't the top 2 quarterback on that team.
Come on now.
Just my bad. Had to do that for my sanity. Ooh, I think I know where I'm going here with this pick. Obviously you got Tyler Linderbaum to come in and be the starting center on this team. I think they still have a hole at the guard position, and you're not going to take him, but I really like Emmanuel Pregnon. I think personally, he's pro ready. He is ready to go. I don't think the ceiling is, he's going to turn into Quentin Nelson. No, I think he is who he is. I think he's going to come in. He's going to block. This team has to get better in the trenches in a bad way. So I think you get the quarterback, you get no line. It's not a flashy draft at the moment, but that's also going to help unlock Ashton Genty, who you spent a very luxury pick on
They need
last
to go
year.
offensive
You
line
got to
there.
fix that
I
offense.
think I think this is just it's just the name Pregnon that weirds me out about him. Not a name I like.
Fair.
Giants up next.
Giants
Giants
are
have
obviously having a
gone Caleb
stellar
Downs and Jordan
stellar
Tyson.
draft here.
And if they continue on from last year, they'll continuously take players I really like and I'll end up loving their draft again. Which is weird for such a poorly run organization. I think at this point, I think they're going corner. I think they're going D'Angelo
Okay.
Ponds. I
Ooh.
really like D'Angelo Ponds. I like all the Indiana guys. They're really just
Yeah.
solid. Will do exactly what you need them to do. Think that fits well with what you just got with Caleb Downs. You definitely need to help that secondary, which was abysmal last year. Yeah, and he tested out more athletically than you would have thought that he would have.
And I'll even say this because I love Downs a lot. I think he's gritty enough to actually be similar to an Amik Robinson, and at that size, play on the outside. I really do. I think he is a no nonsense type of guy, and I think he's not afraid of anything. So like I could totally see him because I know obviously it says nickel here. I could see a world where he could do both.
Even if
I
he's
really
not,
could.
it's just
Um,
that to me is more of what the Giants typically do to me, which is they take those kind of guys, and especially Harbaugh as well. That's the kind of guy we want in the organization.
For sure. No, I completely agree with you there. That leads us to the Houston Texans, who we had taking Peter Woods. Man, I think it's early for Jennings Dunker. Kalen Rutledge is the one that I saw get picked the second to last pick of the first round in a mock draft recently. So I could see that. But I think because they have two more picks in the top 70, I think you could potentially hold out for one of these guys. And they also need a center, so I could see them holding out for one of the top 3 centers right here. Man,
Yeah,
this is I might get crazy.
get crazy.
I just don't know how crazy I wanna get. No, Imma do it. I'm taking Jadarian Price,
Wow.
at running back. I think their run game was stupidly bad, like, one of the worst I've seen in an NFL in the last couple of years. Dadgummit, I scroll past Houston. I don't get me wrong, I like Woody Marks and I like the trade of David Montgomery, but I think a 1-2 punch of David Montgomery and Jadarian Price is what you're looking for. Jadarian Price, obviously, he was the number 2 on Notre Dame, but
Mhm.
he is a dynamic back,
He'd fit
explosive.
very well, similarly to how Montgomery fit with Jameer Gibbs. As
Correct.
far as the
I
Knuckles and the
like the fit.
Sonic pairing, it's very
Yeah.
it works, and yeah, I like that.
It's personally a little early for me
Yeah,
personally,
I'd say it's
but
early,
I
but
think
I
because you
also
can
really like Jared Price.
okay, a little early, but I like the thought
Cleveland.
process there. Who my bad. I moved back to a
Cleveland now.
different team.
Um,
Spencer Fano and Denzel
Denzel
Boston.
Boston. Yeah. So I think at this point, can I see who their
Do you wanna see their depth
can I
chart?
see who their edge rushers are outside of the obvious one? Yeah, I could see them going edge rusher here again.
A lot of edge rushers here. This is a very good edge
That's kind of
class.
what I was thinking. So that there is a lot of edge rushers on the board right now. I was leaning
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Cassius Hal here. Uh,
Ooh, okay.
I think
I
you
like it.
just make the move. He was an All American. He could just go inside a lot more than Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett goes all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, but just get a solid edge rusher on the outside who can be dynamic and just
Yeah.
help even
No, I
more
like
and
it.
just build your defense out. Especially who knows how long Miles Garrett's going to be there. Like, let's
Yeah.
start being real on that. If he wants to stay there or not. So
Oh, I don't
I
disagree with
also
you at
like a
all.
guy whose weakness is first thing he's listed is that he has short arms. Because I always think that doesn't matter as much as they lead on. So I always think that guy's probably some hidden value there.
I think he's also just performed at every level. So I think you also just look at the guy that's been talented enough to do it. We're back on the board with the Chiefs here. And so, I personally, I really, really like Chris Johnson. I just don't think he can play man cover corner, which is exactly what Spagnuolo's gonna ask you to do. So I think if they're wanting corner here, it's one of these 2. I don't love Brandon Cisse, but I think mainly because he got absolutely torched by Casey Concepcion, and it just is, like, eating in my brain. Um, I like it AJ Halsey, wherever he is. He's at 56. I feel like that's a little early. I could also I might go Jeremy Bernard, actually. I know I'm sitting here talking about offense, but you can't trust Rashee Rice.
No,
Uh,
obvious reasons.
Worthy Xavier Worthy's been kind of just hit or miss, but he's a deep threat. He's not gonna be the guy across the middle of the
Can we
field.
also move Kenneth
Uh,
Walker real quick to the?
yeah, I'm seeing it.
I don't know who Brashard Smith is, so
He was a guy they picked last year. I do like Brashard Smith, but he's not the number one. I think I've talked myself into it. I think I'm going Jeremy Bernard. This is a guy that does everything in the middle of the field. There was a stretch there for the Alabama team last year where they had nothing going for him, and he was the consistent.
yeah,
I'm gonna get a first down. I'm gonna go get 15 yards. I'm gonna do that. Like
they
he's
could use it.
fearless. I
Especially,
have
it feels weird, but I would almost call it a Travis Kelsey type replacement for them. Start moving on from as Kelsey
yes,
gets old is who's going to just
yes.
guy who will be open. And that's who he
Yes, and
is.
I like him. Him and Elijah Surratt are similar to me, but I like him a little bit better than Elijah Surratt. So I'll go Jeremy Bernard there. Not that wasn't really what I was thinking I would do with them, but I kind of like the fit with the Chiefs, especially when Mahomes comes back.
Yeah. All right. So first pick of the draft for the
This is their
Bengals.
first pick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this one got Dexter Lawrence. Um, this pick should still be on the defensive side of the ball. It's just
yeah.
it's rough
I'm
for
also
them.
just Miles Murphy's the guy I was thinking of. That's my bad.
Um,
I
yeah, I think I know who I
I would
want
tell you.
here. I want CJ
Yeah,
Allen here.
there's yeah. He was staring at you.
CJ Allen, yeah, I think he might go early in that too. I think he's awesome, and they need a linebacker
Yeah,
desperately. They need everything
yeah.
defensively, but yeah, that's
No, I love that fit here, and I get to pick for your
yeah,
Saints, who we had taking Sonny Styles, who we're just gonna sorry, Danny Stutzman, just
Stutzman.
do that right
Yeah,
there. I kind of can tell you where I'm leaning, and you can just tell me if I'm wrong. I think this is an edge, because I think you could still get another wide receiver later
oh, I agree.
because you had that 73 pick, and I personally like the edge run right here better than I do the wide receiver run. Ah, there's 2 guys that I really, really like, and they're Zion Young and Malachi
I'm
Lawrence.
gonna tell you just based
DJ
off
Parker is still on the board though.
if you want to get an idea of Mickey Loomis's head, just look at the Raz and
Yeah, we're going Malachi
yeah,
Lawrence. We're running the board. This is a guy that he if anybody boosted their value at the
he's a
combine,
beast.
Malachi Lawrence was that
Yeah,
guy. He was I couldn't take my eye off of him. He was just so good. 6'4", 260. You gotta eventually start thinking replacements for Cam Jordan. And you had a really good year with Chase Young. That's why he's back in the building. I think you get a guy that can pair with him and be really, really, really good against both the run and the pass. So I'll take Malachi Lawrence there, which brings us to Miami on the clock, who solid draft so far, cooking.
yeah.
You need me to show you
I do need to
anything?
see their depth chart again.
Offense or
I
defense?
was looking at offense. We haven't taken a receiver yet.
Okay.
Um,
But remember, they do have 4 picks in the
they
third round.
do. That's true.
And just look at the names on their deep. They got Josh Uche?
Yeah, they do.
Hold on, we're gonna
They're
do
kind of
one of
look. They're
these.
kind of cooking here defensively.
We're gonna do one of those. I like Juju Brents better. We're gonna do something like that. I don't necessarily know if Dolphins fans let me know if any of these names that I've never heard of in my life are gonna be the starters or
I
not, but
really am not
I
a
think it's
huge
something like
fan of
that.
their safeties. Who we got on the board there? Halsey.
Get 2 LSU boys.
Yeah, I don't. Hey, there is always something to be said of taking some teammates.
Is that what you're thinking?
Let me look at the receivers real quick. Yeah, we'll take Halsey.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
I like
Halsey.
Halsey.
I'll put it out there. I like Halsey a lot.
That defense is rough. That team is rough. but I will always say I'm never going to be knock a team if they just want to go defense, defense, defense through the top of the draft and just build that way.
Yeah.
It works out. I feel like more than it doesn't. So
I'm doing a sketchy thing that you and I okay. Okay, never mind. That's what I thought. I was just seeing if Aaron Glenn uses zone at all because I feel like Chris Johnson still being on the board is sacrilegious, but they do not. So we're just not even gonna do that. They got. I mean,
look at this
jeez, we're
draft
kind of
going.
cooking. We're kind of cooking for the Jets right now. Arvell Reese, Carnell Tate, and Ty Simpson.
I like that Geno Smith's not listed on the quarterbacks.
Let's get Brady Cook off there. Well,
Let's put
why can't I take? Never mind. That's I'm
no.
wasting time
They
on
Brady Cook is your
things that
starting
don't matter.
quarterback.
Uh, I just ran like full sprint, accidentally face planted because I was running so fast. Ran to the podium for Jacob Gonzalez.
Yeah, nice.
This draft for the Jets right now is cooking. Jacob Gonzalez proves everything he needed to do athletically. He's always around the ball, high IQ, and that defense is Aaron Glenn is sitting there licking his chops, just thinking about the things that he's going to be able to do next year. With Arvell Reese, Jacob Rodriguez, and I don't even remember who else we got for him, Carnell Tate and Ty Simpson. But Baltimore's back on the clock. Kenyon Sadiq was their first pick. You want me to show you the?
Yeah, I do want to see
feel
the
like
interior
these are
offensive
their.
linemen is where I really want to look, but it's
Oh,
not. It's slim pickings.
but there's your guy.
There's my guy, and he's fantastic.
That I could also see a world where they go here.
That's kind of where I think they end up landing is one of those three.
So I could show you there because
Yeah.
obviously Matt UK, Lord only knows with the neck injury.
Uh, the quick research and just more or less looking at the player comps for everybody.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think they go Lee Hunter here. I'm gonna go Lee
Ooh,
Hunter.
big fan of Lee Hunter.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
I like
I
the
like Lee
Texas
Hunter.
Tech guys.
He's not going to wow you athletically.
No, he's not.
But he's really good at what
But
he
he is
does.
good.
He's really good at what he does.
Like
Yeah.
the guy was
I mean, 7
productive.
sacks on that D line. Yeah. And I think that's more Madubuike replacement to me than a Christian Miller
Yeah.
or even a Caleb Banks. Ooh, who do we have them take? Ooh, yeah, I forgot we had them trading up to take Wane, which I love. All right, I'm about to quick research as well, which is scary for us. I just want to see how much zone they run because I'm telling you, I love Chris Johnson. Um, did Tampa Bay use 70? Oh, heck yeah. They use zone 73% of their defense. This is the pitfall for Chris Johnson stops falling. I'm running to the podium for Chris Johnson. I'm a massive fan of Chris Johnson's. I think is he has great IQ, great zone recognition. He tested better athletically than I think anybody thought. I just still don't see how well he holds up in man coverage. I think he's better in zone coverage. But I think that pitfall personally, I don't think he goes this far. I think that was more just me trying to find a perfect fit for zone for him. I think the Bucks are ecstatic that he's at 46, which I think this is the first pick for the this is the first pick for the Colts here.
We'll have some
You wanted to
options,
see
especially if they
anything?
want to go edge. There's going to be edge options. I just keep scrolling down just a little bit to see if I can see anybody that. Oh, that was who I was
I know who you're
considering.
saying ooh to.
That's who I was considering earlier on for CJ Allen wasn't there. Yeah, Jake Golday, Cincinnati. Yep.
Yo, I know who you were thinking.
But yeah,
I knew what that ooh was for.
that's who I was looking for.
I love Jake Golday. I think
he's great.
he was used in such a weird way, but this is one of those dudes on the freaks list. At 6'4", 240, 4'6". I mean, this dude's I like Jay Galday's fan of Jay Galday's game. I think Cincinnati used him in a very odd way, which
that's Cincinnati.
another team,
but this is
another team with their first pick.
They're idiots
due to
because they're a stupid
some horrendous
organization.
trading. Yeah,
FTF.
Man, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Yeah, Caleb Banks is a freak of nature, 6'6" to 330. Ran a 504 at 330 with a 9.8 res. The only hesitation you have and the only reason he's available here at 48 is due to the foot issues. He's been banged up. You don't ever really get to see him put it all together because he can't stay on the field long enough to do it. They have Ruka Roro, who should not be their nose tackle as their nose tackle. So this is an immediate get him to where he's supposed to be and try to fix this unfortunate situation that they have with the defensive line there. Which now we're back on the clock with the Vikings who
Took
took
Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
your guy.
Like him a lot.
Your guy. Yeah, you do.
Um,
You need to see their depth chart.
I would like to see their depth chart. Particularly
I forgot they have.
their corner room, which is where that still feels pretty good to me.
It's all right,
Yeah,
man. I'm just looking at this defense and I recognize like 5 names off
that's
of,
where I'm kind of ending
and
up.
I'm
Where I'm like,
wondering how
some of
did
these
they do
guys,
this last year?
might be better than I just don't know them. Maybe they're awesome.
Yeah,
Because where I was going to go was either Cisse or Abney was where I was debating.
I will also say I don't know why it
And
says
nose
they have nose
tackle.
tackle as like a
No, I
number
don't
one,
think they do.
but the best nose tackle's right there.
Yeah,
Like this is the stump.
they.
That's the stump in the
That's good.
defense.
That just always throws me off because the way they label positions.
Yeah, and I think some of these are kind of wrong, but
Let me look at my board real quick. We're just gonna.
one technique is a nose tackle.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna go Christian Miller.
Love Christian Miller. I think
Fat
there's going
guys
to be a
help you
world
win.
come.
So and
He took the words out of my mouth. I think there's also a world where he could be the first
he could
D
go
tackle
earlier.
taken. I really
I did
do.
have him earlier.
Um, because he is very, very, very good at what he does. Similar to Caden McDonald. We're on with the Lions here, who we had taken their Swiss Army knife. Um, hmm, I'm really leaning Zion Young. I just like him better than TJ Parker. Because I think you just got to get somebody to pair with Aiden Hutchinson. Um, yeah, and I personally, I think you flip a coin here on these two guys. Me personally, I like Zion Young better. I mean, careers 27 and a half TFLs, 11 and a half sacks. It's not as good, I don't think. Um, am I talking myself into? I'm talking myself into TJ Parker.
Yeah, you are.
I did. I like Zion Young a lot. I could see them really exploiting TJ Parker and getting him back on the track that he was 2 years ago, as opposed to the kind of down season that the entire Clemson team had last year. So I'll take TJ Parker there. And that leads us to the Panthers, who we had at Concepcion. We're just gonna do
Exception.
that.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, do you need to see the depth chart?
Yeah, let me quick look at defense before I make an offensive pick. Yeah. All right.
Hold on. I'm gonna fix that for them because that's incorrect. I have no clue who this dude is.
You don't know Bam Barton Scott?
I watched every game. I've
Um,
watched every game for the Panthers. Got no clue who that dude is.
my idea of here is they need an interior offensive line, and there's a jersey that I know you're going to get as soon as they take this guy. I'm gonna go take Jennings Dunker here.
I love that you did that for me.
I did kind of do
knowing
that,
that
for you. That is going right
he's going to
there.
remove the McMillan. The McMillan jersey is going to be taken down for the 69 Jennings Dunker.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know if he wears 69, but I hope he does.
He's
personally.
fantastic, and not just he's a very good player. I think he's probably my favorite interior offensive lineman. Outside the top guys, like he's great. I would also consider like an Eli Stowers at that pick. As far as being a tight end, I really like him as a tight end, but I also couldn't resist. I couldn't resist Dunker.
I appreciate that from you. First pick for the Packers here. I kind of forget that they don't have a first. We're in an interesting spot here. Obviously, traded I'm blanking on the dude's name, but they made a trade with the Cowboys to get off of an edge. Hmm, they're an interesting team. I also think they need guard. I mean, Keelan Rutledge is a guy that, I saw people having conversations about him slipping into the back end of the first round. So I think, um, really good. I just didn't see first round buzz. I could see this kind of being more where his range starts. And since, Jenny Ducker comes off the board, I think maybe that kind of pushes hey, we need to get our guard before he's gone. Um, Keelan Rutledge pick here for the Green Bay Packers, which puts you back on the clock with the Pittsburgh Steelers after taking Makai Lemon.
Taking Makai Lemon.
The Oof, gosh, I forgot what their quarterback room looks like without.
They got Rodgers.
Hey, John Rice Plumlee. Rogers hasn't come back yet.
He's not come back yet. Oh, man. We'll wait for the third round, but we'll get to that. So
I know exactly who you're going to take too.
I got
I'm going to
ideas.
snipe them so you can't do it.
I got a couple ideas for them. I got a couple quarterback options, but
Fair.
okay.
You need to see any position groups?
No, I think this is. I do need to see their depth chart though. I want to look at their cornerback room before I decide on this. I got Ramsey. Yeah. So okay. I'm gonna take Brandon Cisse.
Yeah.
Um
I think that's good value for Brandon
yeah,
Cisse
it is
here
good
too.
value. They need a corner.
Yeah.
He's
Man, I got to pick for the Eagles. That stinks. Do they really run a 3-4? Yeah, they do. That makes sense. No offense to Ty Robinson. Nolan Smith had a really good year last year. Jihad Campbell is going to be in here. Uh, they got Reek Woolen kind of on a 1-year mercenary role. We had him taking Omar Cooper, who I really like. Let's It says edge and tackle. Let's just look at the boards. I'm definitely gonna go an edge. Yeah. Here's my Zion Young. Or I could give them the guy that doesn't work on anybody else's team. No, I'm gonna take Zion Young. He has the size more so than our Mason Thomas, but they already kind of have an undersized edge rusher in Nolan Smith. So let's take Zion Young. Team that needs an edge, you get a really, really good edge.
yeah.
Probably going to be closer to 32 than he is pick 54. I'll just put that in the air because I've seen a lot of first round buzz for Zion Young slipping into the first round, but puts us back on the Chargers. We had him taking Keldrick Falk. Hey, shout out to us.
Mm-hmm.
Need to see either side of the depth chart here.
I don't need to see the depth chart, I don't think. I just need to kind of see the board here and kind of get the lay of the land as far as what they got, what they need. I actually do need to see the depth chart.
Offense or defense?
Both, because I'm looking at tight end, I'm looking at nickel corner again. Who the heck is Tarheeb still?
I did. I have no clue who that dude is.
We're taking Keith Allen.
I look. I pride myself on knowing way too many players. I got no clue who that dude was.
All right. They need a corner. I think Keith.
Now we've kind of also seen. Yeah. Oh, I'm a massive fan of Keith Abney. Ignore that Raz. I think he's technically sound. I'm a massive fan of Keith Abney. Another guy that I know smaller. I think he could do both. I think if you're in a pinch, he could play both outside and inside. I think this is the Jags' first pick in my.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Running back.
Travis Hunter's not playing here anymore, so let's just send him to. Could be. I actually didn't think about that. Could be running back. I could see tight end. I could see wide receiver. Defensively, I love that Travis Hunter's not even on this side, even though they've already announced that he's going to be full-time corner. Which I disagree with strongly, but don't have enough time to hop on that soapbox. Their linebacker room's thin. They also don't really have exceptional pass rushing outside of the first two, but then also wide receiver because Brian Thomas, Lord only knows what's going on there.
Yeah, you are.
Man, I'm a huge fan of Gabe Yakis. Yeah. But or do they make a depth move with their first pick in this draft is kind of where I'm thinking about. I actually, man, this is kind of a interesting thing here because personally I loved Keontae Scott and I think he fits. But Now that you're moving Travis Hunter completely to defense, does it make sense to do that? Um, Screw it. Taking the guy I like. I'm taking Gabe. Really, really solid player. Had a really good career in
Yeah,
Illinois. I'm just doing it.
I got one pick ready
Brings
for
us to
this
the
if you need
Bears. We had him taking Caden McPounder.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, heck yeah. Sorry.
I'm going to R.
Let's
Mason
just
Thomas
kicking
here.
German Dexter to the
Just get done. After
who you
still on the
won.
board. Rush is like a
Another
madman.
guy,
Just
smaller in
keep adding
stature, but he
guys
gets it
onto this
done.
team.
Yeah, I agree. 49ers, we had him taking Maxi Onachor. Really fan of his game. They're definitely a Derek Moore type team. I also love Traden Stukes. Big fan of his game. What's their defensive depth chart? Michael Williams, Nick Bosa, Keon White, Jair Brown. Yeah, I'm doing it. I like Traden Stukes. Big fan of his game. He's been a kind of another draft riser. Freaky athlete. Can be nickel corner. I think he can also play corner if you really need him to. Rangy safety, freaky athlete. I'm going to take
Texans
Traden Stukes here
with
for
Gary
the San
Price.
Francisco 49ers, which brings the Texans back to the clock.
Feeling needs, but we haven't gone offensive line with them yet. Yeah.
I will say,
That's
how many picks do they have left?
I was thinking
Yeah, an interior we kind of picked apart, but they do need a center. They need a center, and the
Connor Lew
best
play
three or
center for
best four are on the board.
that's what I thought. Yeah, we're going Connor Lew here. He was at the
Yeah.
top of my interior offensive
Yeah.
line right behind Dunker. So they're desperate because their interior line was trash.
Shout out Jenny's Dunker. Yeah. It was. Very assuredly was. And now you have running backs. Now you get the O-line. You start building the trenches so you can run the ball better. Take some pressure off of
Yeah.
I'm blanking on CJ Stroud, who was
ever since his offensive line got bad
last year.
So get it good again.
Exactly. So you fix that. Man, we've went defense on these, and I'm loving it. And we're probably about to go defense again. Because I think they need a safety.
Yeah.
And
it's not great.
Oof. Ugh, yucky. That didn't plan out the way I wanted it to. What's their linebacker room look like? Because I know they lost Tremaine Edmonds. Still got TJ. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Anthony Hill is an interesting prospect. I think he's athletic as all get out. He's similar to me though. I'm blanking on the dude that the Cowboys had as a starting linebacker last year. Kenneth Murray. He's similar to Kenneth Murray to me. He is athletic enough to get places, but he doesn't always understand why he's going to places, and so he guesses a lot, which puts him in the wrong spot a lot. So hopefully, as a younger guy, he can develop out of that. But he's athletic enough, and I think his fall stops here to the Bears, who just keep piling the defensive picks. Rams, we had taken Monroe Freeling with their first pick.
I'm gonna do this, even though he did just get arrested, like today. But he's a Georgia player, so of course he does. I'm gonna go Zachariah Branch.
No.
Yeah. Obstruction. It wasn't like
did he really get arrested?
Accident. It was obstruction. So officer told him to get back, and he was smirked at him and went, "I don't think so."
Okay.
And the cop said, "Yeah, I think he's luxury pick here." But
Zachariah Branch,
pretty much
freaky
what they're going to be making all drafts. Why not at this point be the first team to go back to receiver and get your pick of the litter? I think he's the best one. I honestly think could see him going close to the first round or being one of those in that top group again. I think he's really good, especially a guy who can play the slot with a lot of speed out wide
I
for
agree.
them.
Also, just think he was deployed in a way at Georgia where it was all at the line of scrimmage, very short. I think he can be deployed a little bit better in a McVay offense. So I like the pick there, like the fit. This is a easy pick for me and the Denver Broncos. That's Eli Stowers,
the Mackey Award winner.
You let Sean Payton do with Sean Payton's players what Sean Payton wants to do with their players.
I think he was.
It's a great question.
No,
he might have been. Was it not? It definitely went Kenyon Sadiq. It didn't say on here. Definitely wasn't true.
Okay. You look that up because
he was
the Mackey Award
semi-finalist
winners,
for the
like you
Mackey
look
Award.
back to the last list, they're all awesome tight ends.
It might have been. It
We'll keep an
honestly
eye
could have
on
been
him.
this guy. I know he was John Michael Gillenborg. I know he was like really
I'll look that
high
up
up.
right now.
I don't actually know who won the
2025.
Mackey Award. I usually know those things, but there you go.
Stowers won in 2025. And
Okay,
yeah, it was Stowers last year.
so he did win it.
And the Mackey Award winners are awesome.
It
So
was Stowers. Okay, totally didn't know that.
I think
Well,
he'll be
yeah,
great.
yeah, they tend to do well. You're on the clock here with
The dude just won
the
because I'm here now on this page.
New England Patriots.
The Mackey Award winners since 2017 are Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, Harrison Bryant, Kyle Pitts, Trey McBride, 2 years Brock Bowers, Tyler Warren, and now Eli Stowers.
So the only one
Yeah.
that didn't pan out was
Like,
the
Pretty good track
Florida
record on
Atlantic
taking these
dude.
guys.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
and
right,
you
New
get a
England on the
great value
board.
here too.
Let me see their depth chart. Yeah, I think.
Had him taking Blake Miller first round.
Can I see the receivers?
Do you know
I
where you're
think
going
that
here?
receiving room is trash. Regardless of what
Yeah.
one Joseph Boyle might say
Sign
about how awesome the receivers
Dobbs.
are, I think it's trash. I also am not a big fan of Chris Bell though, so I don't really. He's injured. I don't love that. Screw it. I'll just go with my favorite. Let's go Elijah Surratt. I like Surratt a lot. And again, I like the Indiana players.
Ooh.
And they need some more solid guys that
I
are
do
going to
too.
be open and can make plays.
Yeah.
Pop Douglas is frankly not getting it done. Frankly, Romeo Dobbs is not going to be getting it done. They need to add to that receiving room.
Yeah.
Because Drake May was thrown to just. Yeah.
Well, and different player from those. Yeah. I think Booty can still be kind of that deeper threat guy.
Yeah.
And then you get Surratt to kind of be the middle of the field guy, kind of take the Stephon Diggs role. Then let Pop Douglas and Romeo Dobbs figure out the rest. But I don't hate to pick at all.
I'll take whoever at this point.
Seattle. Who do we had Avion Terrell.
Yeah.
What's the running?
I like some Mike Washington. No, I like it. I like Mike Washington.
I didn't think about it. I think the size doesn't always play to that. I think he could be more powerful. But then you see the plays like against Texas where he just absolutely runs a dude over and then runs to the end zone. Has elite burst. He is another guy that has always produced at everywhere. It doesn't even show his New Mexico State run, or New Mexico. I don't remember which one he was at, but he leveled up every way. It was New Mexico State, Buffalo to New Mexico State. And then he went to the SEC and had one of his better years. So I like my Washington. We're talking about a Seattle team that is going to run 2-man running back room anyways, because that's at least what they did last year. But the Cardinals, we've had David Bailey and Colton Hood, so both on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah. I saw what I needed to see, and that's really looking down at those bottom 5 names.
You see what you need to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Caleb Tiernan. It's just, yeah. He is great. I think he's
really good blocker, really good
Big
Ten blocker.
West when we're talking offensive line,
and he's a giant
or
of a
tight
man.
ends. Can't really go wrong. Just a big country fed boy. Just go block out there.
Tends to go well. Yeah, tends to go well. Yeah, I don't disagree at all. Titans on the clock. We've had 2 offensive picks here. Looking on the defense, Robert Saleh taking over one of the rougher defenses. So I think it's time we start helping him out. I mean, name a more Robert Saleh corner than Keontae Scott. I didn't even look at their corners. Yeah, no, that's a no-brainer right there. Keontae Scott. That's a type of dude that you want playing on your defense. He's always gonna be just the most fiery guy on the field, and he's gonna do everything he can to win a football game. Robert Saleh's gonna love that guy. You're back on the clock here with Fernando Mendoza.
I know.
Pragnon taken.
That would have been my pick.
You already
here,
blew the
I
pairing
think at
Elijah
this point
Surratt with his
would think
quarterback.
receiver.
So, unfortunately, you did that
as a real option.
Yeah,
that becomes the question of which one I like the most. They got Trey Tucker, Naylor.
Who do they have?
Okay,
Trey Tucker's been good. They signed Jalen Naylor, had Jack Beck, but he fell out of favor quick with Pete Carroll. Thornton,
What
your
was
deep
I'm not
threat.
going
So
Chris
I
Bell.
probably definitely
Um,
wouldn't go Chris Bell.
Antonio Williams has been kind of thinking about him. Yeah,
He gives you the
I think they need a
playmaking ability for
playmaker.
sure.
Is really what I think. Because I think the other guys can catch passes. Like, they're not. It's a weak receiving room, but it's not the Titans who just have guys who don't catch anything. So, uh, I'll go Antonio Williams here.
Yeah,
Just
Antonio Williams. I
yeah,
He was good. He's a playmaker. Been injured, banged up,
yeah.
but I think he's
You have
been
to play
really
with
good
Cade Klubnik
despite
for
not great Cade
years.
Klubnik play.
Give him some
Um,
respite here, and
Eagles. We had him taking Omar Cooper and Zion Young. Still says they need a tackle, but I don't know that I love. I mean, I've heard a lot about Markel Bell, and I mean, if anybody's just made a living off of ginormous offensive linemen and them being really good, it's been the Philadelphia Eagles. And eventually, you do have to start thinking about Lane Johnson, road outside of Lane Johnson. Could also go tight end. Yeah,
great
I might
blocker.
actually go tight end here. Max Clare was really good 2 years ago at Purdue. I liked him a lot more here at Purdue, and then it was kind of a down. I mean, Ohio State didn't really use their tight ends like that. I think this is your. Let's see what we got in him because we only signed Dallas Goddard to a 1-year deal, and potentially you get your replacement in this draft in Max
Yeah,
Clare. So I'll
no
go tight
draft for
end
the
for them, which
Texans.
puts you back on the clock with the
Just one of those
Texans.
teams of just like, uh,
Yeah, I didn't know you
but
were going to get to draft for them.
if I just name it, just kind of sticks out. And just none are just. This is where we're just kind of, it's one of those kids at that point in the draft. But oh, wait a minute.
No, no. Do they need a wide
Yeah,
receiver
they also.
at all? No, they took,
I don't think they really
but they
do.
took
It's
two
listed as a
last
need.
year in last year's draft.
I'd probably just say let's go edge here and just say
Yeah,
screw it. This I think becomes, yeah.
I mean the rich get richer.
Do we go Derek Moore or do we go Dennis Sutton? Wait a minute. I love me
Just
some
more
Romello Height.
athletic for sure.
Yeah. Again, not
Yeah,
big
you
moving
do.
here.
This is the perfect team
Save on
for
that.
him.
But yeah, I think he's all right. I love taking these Texas Tech guys, guys on this Texas Tech defense. I think a lot of them are going to work out really well. I think Height was really good for them.
I don't disagree at all. So puts us on the Browns. Spencer Fano, Denzel Boston, Cassius Howell. I think they also need a center. If I'm, yeah,
Luke
it says they need a
Whitebeard.
center. Yeah, yeah. We're just gonna take Logan Jones. Like you said, Big Ten offensive line tend to do pretty well, and I like Logan Jones. I think he's got a solid contention to be the first center. Um, just kind of your pick of the poison for center, but I'll take Logan Jones
Yeah,
there, which
they made a
puts you
big
on
one.
for the Commanders, who have only had one pick so
Yeah.
far, but
Um,
could argue best player in the
defense.
class.
Well, don't have a center.
LOL. They
Plans have changed, actually.
don't even have a center.
That's accurate. It's not listed as a need, which is what's weird to me. Is I wonder if that's legit. Yeah.
I wonder if that's not right. Yeah, that might not be right.
Many of those guys.
They were the oldest team in the
Okay.
NFL last year. I'm pretty sure Sam Cosmi played center.
Okay, just put them there.
Sam Cosmi or Nick
makes me
Allen.
feel better.
One of
I
these
wasn't
two
gonna
plays
go
center. So I'm
originally.
just gonna. They definitely have a center.
Look at the edges here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Power guy, athletic freak,
I'm gonna
speed
kind of go
rusher,
based on the basis
but not
of them
as
having
athletic.
Chase Young a few years ago. I'm gonna go Danny Dennis
Kind of your
Sutton.
pick of the litter here.
Of just having some freak out there. It's need some pass rush and just go get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and also they just need to get
some
younger.
freaks, and
So
maybe some of them will
start
pan out and be
getting
awesome.
just start getting some
and
younger
you see
players
what
that are
happens.
athletic and going to change the outlook. Yeah. So the Bengals back on the clock here got tremendous CJ Allen value in my opinion. Big fan of CJ Allen. I think this is big citrus.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, big citrus, nose tackle. Well, I know they just got Sexy Dexy, but Sexy Dexy can do a little bit more pass rushing down. Um, yeah, they need a nose tackle, so let's get a nose tackle to pair with Sexy Dexy.
This is
Put you
receiver.
back on for the Saints.
This is
Sonny
receiver.
Styles and Malachi Lawrence, so you can get your pick of the yeah.
Chris Bill makes some sense. They could use a slot guy. But I think they also could just use Jaret on that Skylar Bell, or is that just
I do love Skylar Bell.
I was getting to him.
I'm a
No,
massive fan of
I
Skylar
don't
Bell.
like that fit either. But
I don't think you pair Skylar Bell with Chris Olave though, but
and this is mostly I don't want to take a North Dakota
could
State
take
player.
speed threat and Bryce Lance.
That's just burned me too many times.
Fair. Fair
enough. I
enough.
want to take Ted Hurst. I'm really thinking Malachi Fields here.
Yeah.
This is where I think he's 6 foot. They say 6'4".
This is his range,
6'5"
so
as well. I think he'll fit well. Again, Saints need guys who can catch passes. We can go look at the Saints depth chart again at the receiving room and just say, "Yikes!" Who is Jalen Polk? I mean, I know who he is, but like, come on now.
I wasn't mad.
Yeah. I know who
he was a Washington
dude
that got hurt,
also,
and then he got traded somehow while being hurt.
Let's take Malachi Fields.
Run to the podium for Malachi Fields. Which unfortunately brings me to the Chiefs. Ruben Bain, Caleb Lomu, Jeremy Bernard, phenomenal draft so far for the Chiefs. Because now we can start talking corner. No, we can't. Well, they're not going to take a Ignabosin. I like Malik Muhammad, but I don't think they take him here. 74. Feels wrong not getting a corner for them, but also I'm just personally of the opinion that maybe I don't want to go Ignabosin. My favorite guy is Malik Muhammad here if I was going to pick a corner. Big fan of Takario Davis. Yeah, I'm not going to stand on this hill and say I love it necessarily. I mean, they could go Kamari Ramsey. It's probably better value. I don't love it. I don't love the pick here for them. I'm going to go Malik Muhammad. I think probably the most technically sound, and I think Spagnuolo's can use that. So I think it's a little high, but that's the need for them. So we'll take that.
There's those third round picks.
Miami
this is now
on the board here.
Receiver.
When defense.
We're just gonna run here. Is Chris Bell still here? let's just take Chris Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Had a feeling that was where you were going to go.
They love injured receivers.
And if anybody can take the chance on a guy that just got injured, it's probably them. This is going to be my kind of wait. There it is. This is going to be kind of my crazy pick here.
Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't love it. No, I'm not going to do it.
Don't ruin our brand.
That was about to be crazy. I'm sorry. Adam Wildhair. This is Kamari Ramsey. Sorry, I got a little carried away. That was my bad. Cowboys on the board. We had them taking Jamal McCoy and Dylan Thieneman, so they kind of fixed their secondary. Now they just got to fix the linebacker and edge.
Yeah, they're gonna edge. Quick.
Oof, I forget how just drop off heavy the linebackers go.
Yeah, we'll go Josiah Trotter here.
Shout out Red Murdoch.
It's just double checking, but yeah, he's very good linebacker. Solid linebackers help. Yes.
An old school linebacker too. Like honestly, I wish he wore a neck brace, but he is a run stopping linebacker. Not going to give you much in the pass coverage, but run stopping linebacker. Colts. We took Jake Galday. Love Jake Galday.
Wow. There he is.
Shout out Laquan Treadwell. He still plays.
Congratulations. Yeah, go scroll over to receiver real quick.
Because of that, we're gonna come over here. If anybody can get the most out of a small school receiver, that is known for being a one-trick pony, and they fix it, it is the Colts. I mean, Alec Pierce just got paid stupid money, and just 'cause. So I think they had the contested catch guy in him. I think they get the speed guy in Ted Hurst. You keep Josh Downs in
Yeah.
the slot.
Yeah.
Right. Just let it
Yeah, go ahead
loose.
and keep this on receivers.
You're on the board here with the Falcons, Caleb Banks. What's the first pick?
Again, could use a speed guy.
Fair enough.
But I mean, that's where I'm kind of landing. If you want to go down a couple more to Brandon Thompson. Yeah. Straight
Ooh,
speed.
get the just
It screams
straight
Falcons
speed,
pick as
fastest guy in
well.
the combine.
Love, what are you doing a little bit? But also he's got some serious speed and just,
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
they're
yeah.
yeah, he is
He's a
good
good receiver.
and
Like I think
he's
that's
got
kind of being
crazy
overlooked
speed and
because
the
he is just super
Falcons
fast.
are like
But
a combine team as well. So
Brendan Thompson here, I like it. Is this? I was like, is this only the second pick for the Ravens? Kenny Sadiq, Lee Hunter. I'm loving that. Um, man, part of me just wants to because he's the best available right here, just take Derek Moore. Or low moving costs. Well, Maryland and Pitt aren't that far away, but I'm also looking like Jalen Farmer. I like Zune. What they lost actually, yeah, they lost Linderbaum. So we are going to replace Linderbaum with Jake Slaughter here, for the Baltimore Ravens. Get a center back in the building. Obviously, nowhere near as good as Linderbaum, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Take the best available center.
right.
Jacksonville took my
I don't
guy.
really agree with the Jaguars' big need being receiver. I think they're fine.
Yeah, I don't either. I think they are too.
Yeah,
I think that's more inflated due to the Brian Thomas
probably what it
conversations.
is, but yeah, I don't.
But you're not
I
going to
still
give
think
up on
he's
him unless he just hates football
great.
now.
So, um, it'd be now. I would say it's between Genesis
Awesome.
Smith and
Yeah.
Davison Igbenison. And this becomes the cornerbacks being valued over safeties argument. Yeah, so I will go Igbenison here.
Yeah. And obviously, as an Ole Miss fan who watched Nick Bosa, he just is very handsy. I mean, you could probably
Just
teach
make
that
him
out of
play
him,
like
or maybe let
oven
him play with
mitts,
the gloves so he like
and
doesn't
just
touch the people.
you think it can
Maybe.
work.
Yeah, I think it could work. I mean, do it. Yeah. Um, I'm also seeing that they have a need at center. Do I just keep taking centers because that's just my brand? Will Fries, Donovan Jackson. I thought Jurgens was pretty good. Maybe I'm wrong on that. What do they have at linebacker? Like Cashman, Eric Wilson, Ivan Pace, obviously as the blitzing guy. We didn't go corner. Byron Murphy's really good. Rogers was good. I'm gonna do this and this. I'm a fan of Chandler Rivers. I'm a fan of Dalen Everett. Sam Heck, probably the best center left on the board. I don't. Devin Moore's obviously bigger.
Hecked.
Part
Yeah.
of me wants to take the non-flashy pick. They need a center.
Yeah.
Get Sam Hecht here, but yeah, I'm do it. I know that like the last 5 picks I've made have all been on the O line, but that's what I'm here for. Sam Hecht also could be the first center taken. Just kind of again, your pick of the ice cream flavor. Panthers on the board here. You took Casey Concepcion and then our guy Jennings Dunker.
All right, I think I'm going to keep treating the Panthers like my own little playground here. So if you want to go over to tight end real quick, shoot.
I will say, I think these are unfairly rated, especially Sam Roush here. I like Sam Roush.
I'm not looking at the ratings. I'm looking at those top 2. And I was going to say, just let's take Michael Trigg here.
Guy who could be taken in the 3rd round, but also a guy who just go undrafted.
Yeah, I was going to say that. And I was like, I think Oscar Delp's awesome.
Is that the pick here?
Yeah. No, let's take Michael Trigg.
First, you take Jennings Dunker, then you just take an absolute nutcase. All right.
Let's get crazy here.
The draft has officially gotten crazy.
Trigg is a first-round talent, to be clear. He's unreal. Um, he's just an idiot, and that's his cross to bear. But that's some real value and some real because I think upgrading that passing game for the Panthers makes that really dangerous. You get Concepcion and Trig as some real
Yeah,
weapons out there next to Ted McMillan.
yeah.
Uh,
Don't disagree at all. Um, hmm. I think I think you're the Packers. You take the best player available, and he's kind of fallen pretty far. I think you just take Derek Moore. Replaces the guy you just traded to the Dallas Cowboys. You move on. You get younger, and you take really good value here. Now you're back up on the board with Pitt, which you're going to do the crazy quarterback pick.
you know I am. Let's go to quarterback, and now let's. This is now where we have discussions. I think out of those top 5, that's we might get there. I don't think this is the right team for that, so I'm
No,
not
it's
going to
not.
do that.
It's not. It's not.
Um,
Neither is the Cole Payton. It's if
I
we're
I
having
don't
this
like Cole
conversation,
Payton.
it's these three.
Um,
More like these two.
I think Aller is horrible.
Yes.
I don't want Drew Aller. They might do it. I'll say Nussmeier. I think Nussmeier, he had a bad season, but he was playing for in the stupidest offense I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He had been productive before. He is a gunslinger. I've seen an Andy Dalton comparison for him, which I think is actually pretty good. Of what he can be. Saw him in the Senior Bowl. He looks really, really good. In the
Yeah.
Senior Bowl, what throws he can make. He was just
Also,
horribly used in a horrible offense that was
and a bad
designed for
O
Jaden
line.
Daniels,
Yeah.
and a really bad O line for a poorly coached team that was
Yeah.
run just horrendously.
And I'll
I
also
think
say this to his defense, like he's also a coach on the field because his dad was a
yeah,
coach, so football's in his DNA.
yeah,
And if anybody can quarterback whisper, Mike McCarthy. I mean, Mike
McCarthy.
McCarthy is
I
known as
think
Coach
that
Whisper.
is a better risk worth taking than a Drew Aller or a Carson Beck.
I don't
I think
disagree.
there is more reason to believe that Nussmeier could be a starting quarterback than those two.
Yes, I
Um,
agree.
I think there's no
Wholeheartedly
reason to
agree.
believe Taylor Green could be a starting quarterback, period. But I think he could be Megatron. So
Yes. Shout out,
that becomes
shout out
its
Coach
own
Gruden.
argument.
Shout out Coach Gruden.
Yeah.
Why do they have offensive tackle? Is it just because they want them to get more depth for
I
offensive
guess
tackle?
because I'm like, Alt's great.
Alt and Rashawn Slater are like two of the best.
Slater's good. Like,
Um, I think my pick here is going to be Grayson Halton. Another guy smaller but can just absolutely get after the quarterback. Um, so I'll go Grayson Halton here. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I like him better than the other people at the moment. So we're just going to keep fixing the.
yeah,
I mean, this is a team that really is just really good. They just got to stay healthy. I think you've gotten to make all the picks for Miami, so keep on.
yeah. We are going
They
to go
got
back to
three
tight
more.
ends. Yeah, they got more.
Okay.
I think you get the next two. We are going to go back to tight end and take Oscar Delp. I think Delp's really good. Um, like he's not Brock Bowers, but
No,
also Georgia
he
produces tight ends really well,
and, and
and
and they also just didn't use him like at
they
all.
didn't use him enough. And
And I think he's
really good at
athletic.
yeah, he's athletic. He's one of those guys, especially running like flat routes for tight ends. That's what Georgia does a
Yeah,
lot of. He
yeah,
was really good at that. I feel like Miami could use that. Honestly, Carolina probably could use that as well.
yeah.
But
But
I was kind of riding.
you had more
I
fun
was
with
right.
that one.
I was riding the lightning there.
Yeah, I know what you were doing. Um, Leads us to the Jags, who I mean, I don't, I personally don't love that. I might actually
I'm a big
continue the run we have going
okay.
here of tight ends
Roush.
because I'm a big fan of Roush. I think he's another blocker, but has the ability to catch. I'm a big fan of his game. I'm gonna go Sam Roush here. You have the pass catcher in Britton Strange. You have the blocker, but can also catch the ball in Sam Roush now. Just help that offense even more, which puts you on the board with the Bears here. We've had them
Yeah,
taking
we
nothing
made
but
some picks.
defense.
All defense.
Could
I
use a
could take
corner
me
or
that.
safety.
Could use a corner safety. So let's look at those. They got Genesis Smith still on the board. I almost took him earlier. Let's go Genesis Smith. I like him.
Yeah. Only downside
Yeah,
with
I
him,
mean,
he's athletic as all get out. He just can't tackle. That's his only downside.
who cares about tackling? That doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's your favorite thing about safeties.
I
Is
love
that
when
they
defensive backs don't tackle anybody.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
Um,
I know you will. Dang it, I have
the
to make a pick for
softer
the
the player, the better.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. No offense to
Yeah.
Greg
Yeah.
Williams. Just let me do
Yeah.
that. And let me do this too.
Let's go and do
Uh,
that.
just yeah.
Yeah. Quarterback?
I'm not gonna go quarterback, especially after they paid 20 million.
That's true.
However, this linebacker room is never gonna cut it in the NFL. And there's also talks that
What?
they could trade. I just saw Jordan Brooks. So I'm gonna take Kyle Lewis, who he's not everybody's guy, but he is a pass coverage demon out of the linebacker spot. So getting him here at 90, I love the value there. So I'll take Kyle Lewis for the Miami Dolphins, who need absolutely everything. But puts you on the Buffalo Bills. Second time we're getting to pick for them. Took a guard
Yeah.
first.
Um, we could look at their, I mean, just with the edge rushers available,
Yeah,
mm, I think it's worth just taking another and doing what they had before, which is having all that depth on the defensive line.
yeah.
Um,
Who
then it
you feeling?
becomes a question of Joshua Josephs and Kieran Crawford.
Yeah,
Speed
Joseph's
rusher,
obviously
that's
speed
never
rusher. Yeah,
speed rusher's never really been like their style, which is actually why I'm gonna take Joshua Josephs. Just to get a little change up more to what they don't really have. Um, they've always kind of let the power rusher just, beat people up. Let's maybe add a speed rusher in there. Maybe that could just add some more depth to what they have.
fair enough. Cowboys on the clock. I disagree with the fact that any offensive position is ahead of any of the
Can't be. It's
defensive
not a need.
positions.
Unfortunately, it's just not. This
Just
draft
disagree.
they should go all defense this entire draft
I
and
don't
just
unless you take a lineman that has upside at the 7th
yeah.
round or whatever. Yeah, I'm with you. Um, Personally speaking, I would have taken Kyle Lewis here and ran to the podium. Um, I don't hate Kieran Crawford. Um, I'm never taking a Michigan defensive lineman for the Cowboys ever again. Um, like Chris McClellan would replace yeah, we're gonna take Kieran Crawford. Rotational guy. I think you get another guy in that edge room. You start filling out the defense that had some serious gaping holes in Dallas. Puts you on the clock for Rams. Make another pick here. Got Monroe Freeling and Zachariah Branch so far
Hmm. I would consider going quarterback, but I don't think.
with the quarterbacks on the
Uh,
board.
yeah, with the quarterbacks on the board, like Sawyer Robertson's interesting, but I think he'll be a good fourth or fifth round pick for somebody. Um, I think at this point, just go, um, just go Sean Barham and keep helping that defense out. Keep adding some pass rush. Um, if there's any problem with the Rams this past year, is the defense not being elite. Like it was very,
Yeah,
very good. Um, you're chasing the Seahawks right now, so
correct.
take
Yeah,
defense.
couldn't have said it better. Um, just a team that has stockpiled picks. Um, I mean, the fact that we've gotten them a potentially like 6 starters for next year tells you just how bad this team was. You're gonna call me crazy. I'm gonna get my favorite receiver that's still on the board, and I'm gonna get the guy that could play in your slot, could play all over, but is a yards after catch galore. They need to double dip on wide receiver at any point. You have plenty of picks to do it. Him being here at 94 is crazy value to me.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
think
you
that's
run to the
great.
podium for Skyler Bell. New England
Yep,
Patriots,
like him a lot.
Blake Miller, Blake
Patriots.
Miller, Elijah Surratt. Where are you feeling here?
Ooh, um,
Uh,
let's just go Devin Moore here.
Get a corner. Again,
Just get a
another team
corner.
that didn't really have that many holes. They just needed to fix their offensive
You
line. So
need to fix the
that,
offensive
and we kind of
line.
already did that.
Devin Moore is pretty good value at that point in the draft. Um,
Yeah, don't disagree. Uh, Leads us to the team that really has no needs whatsoever. Um, I like Julian Love. I, man, I'm taking Zakee Wheatley. This is kind of the rich get richer. He's the best available on the board. really good player for typically really good defensive teams. Rangy, gonna be a good tackler. Get him on the best defense in the NFL. They're gonna get richer. Minnesota Vikings here. What have we done for them? Manuel McNeil Warren, Christian Miller, Sam Hecht.
Yeah. This is actually you go to running backs for me real quick. And go Emmett Johnson here.
It's the pick I
I
would have
like
made.
Emmett
It's
Johnson a lot.
exactly what I would have done.
I think he's really good, and he's gonna be a steal for somebody.
Yep.
Unfortunate that he's had to play for a trash Nebraska team for I don't know
He
how
was
long he's
really
been doing it
good.
personally, but he was
He was
really good
really good.
last year.
Yeah.
For
Like I
comparison's
mean,
sake,
just
yeah, look at those numbers. That's crazy.
crazy good.
CBS Sports had a Kyron Williams comparison for him.
Yeah.
Which man, if you get a third round pick and you're getting a Kyron Williams type, that's insane value.
Yeah.
That could really
Don't
help.
disagree.
And they need a running back too.
Yeah.
And because Aaron Jones is old.
Yes. I kind of hate that we've kind of cooked for the Eagles too. That sucks. I'm gonna
Hey, I
do
haven't
the
picked
pick I
for them. That's
almost
been
did.
all you.
I know. I'm gonna do the pick I was about to do before I took Max Clare. Name a team that doesn't just automatically make these type of offensive linemen awesome. So I'll take Markel Bell, eventual Lane Johnson replacement. He can learn under another massive lineman in Jordan Mailata. Yeah, Pittsburgh for you. Geez, we've also kind of just cooked for them.
I think it's Rico Dowdle now, huh?
Well, they do.
That changes what I was thinking for them. I didn't realize they had it.
Where are the offensive tackles available?
Austin Barber, pretty solid. Crown over Bowery. It's kind of, I'd probably say these three are serviceable. Just kind of depends. I also, if you take a tackle here, that means they're kind of giving up on
Yeah.
Broderick Jones. But iron sharpens iron. Competition sharpens people.
All right. Oh, they need D line as well. So, how fat is LT Overton?
Not that fat. Do you
Not
want
enough.
this?
I want that guy. Yes. Let's go with Daryl Jackson Jr.
Yeah, he's physically imposing. He's a terrifying human being.
Get a big possible nose tackle or just D tackle. Whatever you need.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish out this third round and wrap up our third round pick by taking Jonah Coleman, 3-down player. I think he's not as fast as a Bishal Tootin, who they got last year. I think this is a 1-2 punch that you like, losing Travis Etienne, or excuse me, A-Chain.
Thank you.
I think this is kind of the tandem that you're looking for here. So take Jonah Coleman, wrap up our first round or our first ever 3-round mock draft. Try to be as predictive as we could. I think we only made a couple trades here and there. There will probably be more trades because that's the NFL draft.
For sure. It'll be trades galore.
Yeah. I mean, that's just always how it is. Definitely more movement on day 2 than you and I did, but we're also not that in the know because teams don't say, yeah, we're considering moving up in day 2 of the NFL mock draft. But I think we did, for you and I think we did solid for our first ever 3-round mock draft. And obviously, it's not like we're not ever going to do this again. Until next time, Jaret, I will be talking to you on draft night, son. It's my favorite time of the year. But as always, everybody have a good time. Peace.